Austin and Cam Waters, almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble with a simple name Coleman now. Sam Noble. Dodd's just absolute beast, but it is here. Really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, sim racing fans. Welcome once again to Sim Racing World TV. Tonight it's round 9 for our TCR touring car season, and it is the battle for the Ashes, a mix of Aussie and English tracks coming our way throughout the season. Tonight we're once again back at the motherland at Oulton Park circuit, and it's all thanks to our round sponsor Warren and Brown Tools. Tonight it's the Foster's layout, so it's really tight around here. Should keep the cars and the action really close together, making for another great night, and all being a sprint round as well. So we've got double header race here for the TCRs. It's Cowy Average Sim Racer here, together with Rob Sainted Hayter behind and in front of the scenes, showing all of the great action as well as his great knowledge. Rob, it's going to be an awesome night here, buddy. It was awesome last night for the Super V8s, the AM series. These cars made around here and a tight layout. It's going to be really awesome.
Yeah, good evening everybody. Welcome once again back to SRW TV as we just catch up the last little bit of practice here at the end. But yeah, Cowy, this is going to be something special, I think, tonight. The boys coming in the final, well, this is the penultimate round, so they'll have one more week after this, so they want to put their best foot forward tonight to try and set themselves up for a cracking race next week before the end of championship.
Well, that's it, buddy. And I mean, being such a tight little layout here, the Foster's layout, you're basically cutting out about half of the lap, the big hairpin and the long straight down the back, and it's going to mean that these cars are just going to stay bumper to bumper for both of our sprint races tonight, mate. It's going to be awesome. And that reverse top 10, we love it. It just mixes it all up.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you see the fast guys that want to run from the front early on, and we see that now. Dylan DeBono, Jake Edwards up there in the 61 second bracket, and then you've got a string of cars down to P11, so from 3rd to 11th in the 62 second bracket. So, yeah, they're going to be close, they're going to be tight, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Well, it's certainly good to see Dylan DeBono back. He is our quick runner. He was doing some real world racing on the weekend, I believe, so if he can put it on the podium, we might get to have a chat to him about that as well. But he missed a few weeks with that internet issue. Hopefully he's got it all sorted. He said it was good last week, so fingers crossed for Dylan, and he can race wheel to wheel and really charge through in that reverse grid, mate. You know, he's one of those guys that will send it.
Oh, for sure, yeah. You know, you put Dylan DeBono in P10 and he's only knows one way, and that's forward. So I wouldn't want to be between Dylan DeBono and that front position, as he just gives us a little off excursion. Thanks, Dylan. You want to? Yep, no, that's the wall. That's the way to do it.
Shortcut there. Now, I suppose on the other side of it, Grandpa Doug Gowans, well, he is our current championship leader. He has 129 point advantage, so it's nigh on catchable. I think even if he has an absolutely terrible night, 0 points, I think he still wins it. So Doug will hopefully be right in the mix and just drive him with a bit of carefree abandon, and we might see a second Velocity Sim Sports machine sending it out there hard.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, he's been there. I mean, Dylan Bono's fast, we all know that, but Dougie's just been the grinder, hasn't he? He's just ground out week in and week out, put points on the board, and just keeps steady. He just keeps doing it week in and week out. So
he had an awesome start to the season. I think he had 4 P1s in the first 5 rounds, I think. So, you know, and that just enabled him to get a quick jump. And then really his only competitor there early on was Dylan DeBono, and then he had those issues with the internet, so that enabled him to Doug to skip clear from him. We've seen great performances from Jake Edwards here. He's currently running P2 in the championship, mate. 973 points, and he's gone wide. Well, we've come at the end of practice here, buddies. This is all quality simulation, and okay, I know what I can do. Where can I go that an extra metre deeper? Where can I try and take it 10 k's faster? And that's what you're sort of seeing. So it's an interesting time to watch sometimes, because you can see the guys here really just testing the absolute limit, and the car is right on the ragged edge.
Yeah, well, we kind of covered this last night, and this camera angle here, this shows us exactly why this track is really hard to get right lap in and lap out. You actually lose the car coming up this hill on this camera angle. If you watch the next car coming through here, we'll see him disappear pretty much right underneath. So it'll give you an idea just how much undulation there is on this circuit. So again, you were out here last night, Cowy. You guys got the full circuit. We've shortened it down for these guys, but it is very hard to get accurate every lap, isn't it?
In certain places where the car gets unloaded, either it gets unloaded in the front or the rear, and that's what you're sort of talking about, and it's all about being precise with your inputs. And you know, it's really easy just there at T1. It's very easy to run wide. You can actually run wide and get a bit extra speed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a few of the guys saving up some 1Xs for that in the end of these sprint races if it's close. But, you know, and again, like, you know, that corner we just went through there in the longer format, you're really cutting the nose off it. And, you know, so again, this is when the car can be really unloaded. And when you're coming up and braking through here, you've got to brake sort of almost as you the car loads into that depression. Yeah. And it's one of those corners that if you make the first apex, you have no trouble making the second one. So focus on making the first apex.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Druid's there, the double right-hander. It's a tricky corner, but then this corner here, you kind of, it's elusive. It kind of reminds me of Brands Hatch, that penultimate corner, because you know, you think turn one at Brands Hatch, yeah, you kind of turning, but then it dips away and it sucks you to the outside of the track. So we're just right on board with.
It's one of those things where when as the car compresses, that's when you want to get on the gas, because that's when you've got the contact, and you've got that extra weight of the car going down. So as the track starts to rise. Good to see Linky out there running P5 at the moment, so he's one of those guys in the 1 minute 2s, a little bit wide there, but he brought it back.
Yeah, so we can see here, just this is kind of the gyro cam. This is kind of on the shoulder level of the driver. So just seeing out the window and just seeing how much it dips and it changes, like you said about that where it gets loaded. As we come into this final or this penultimate corner, you'll see it dip here. Then it'll climb back up a little bit, and then it dips away. It's gone. So it gives you everything, doesn't it, this track? It gives you the fast corners, it gives you the slow corners, and it just gives you, variety, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think the boys are probably complaining that they're on the short version at the moment, because those whole sections of the track that are missing, they're the ones that are key, but for the corners and... Who was that? I think it was that Max Donnelly, our current P3 in the championship runner.
No, that was Daniel Fritz.
Oh, it's Fritzy. So, yeah, we did have Max Donnelly. Is Max in the room tonight?
Yeah, Max is here. Yeah, he's got a 102.37, yeah.
He is there, so he's running
P6.
P3 in the championship at the moment. He's got 76 points behind Jake, so, and he has a 39-point advantage over Mark Cochran. So, Mark's about 22 points in front of Matty Gerard. Now, all these numbers that I'm calling out, we still have the drop round to apply. After tonight's round, you'll see when we are talking for that final round and looking at round 10, we will have all of those numbers down, who's used their drop round, who hasn't, who has a chance to, get away with a bad result and hold his position. But as it stands, it's looking pretty good for Doug in P1 and Jake in P2 for sure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Those boys are definitely there. So I think Dylan DeBono probably going to have that position to maybe play shotgun for teammate here, or does he go hard out and try and put himself in contention? But I don't think he's really there on the contention unless he gets a couple of really good results. So I don't know. We'll have to see how that plays out.
it's interesting, buddy, because we also have the teams battle going on between these guys. Velocity Sim Lab, that's Doug Gowan's Dylan DeBono there, 20 points ahead of the Whiskey Runner Racing team, and that's Fritzy and Tyler Sheaf. They're on exactly the same amount of points, 700 points, as Mark Cochran and Blake Gallen, the two Apex Esports boys.
Wow.
So is Blake out there tonight? I don't think Blake is.
Blake isn't out here tonight. No, he hasn't shown up. So that's going to leave Mark Cochran out
Mark
there
to do it all himself. Yeah. Daniel Fritz and Tyler Sheep both out there. So, and then it's only 15 points back to Team Greg. So that's Greg Johnson and Greg Leake. Jake Edwards and Tyson Souls, they're the Whitey Pies boys. They're a further 20 points back. They've been showing great pace and have been putting the points on the board. So a big result from those two tonight might elevate the Whiskey Pie team up into the mix. So as far as the team championship goes, it's pretty close there, buddy.
Yeah, well, I mean, Dylan's going to play a big part tonight with Dougie Gowans, that's for sure. And, you know, Tyler Sheaf and Daniel Fritz, again, those boys, they're both in here tonight, so they're definitely going to try and cement their places. Daniel Fritz on the screen. They're definitely going to try and cement their place there in that team championship. So although they may not get the driver championship, they're definitely in the hunt for the team championship. So they want to try and put their best foot forward tonight. So, yeah, interesting night.
There's quite a few boys out there that play the team game very well at SRW. I might have run into a bit of that again last night with Schultze and Brad Wall. I think Brad got in front of him. Sorry, I had a poor start. Schultze got in front of me. He's pretty good at making a car wide. But no, it was good fun. But that's what it comes down to sometimes, you know. We can see that, you know, when you're racing as a team, it's one of those things that you can do. You got to be careful not to break the rules and incur the wrath of race control. But you know, if you can hold up your opponent, we saw it in the restart last night, where Schultze held up the field and Brad got a massive jump at one of the restarts. So it's certainly the way you can do it. And look, kudos to the boys. But what that means for you guys out there is get your teammates involved, come down and sign up for SRW. We've got our new season. We're coming up soon, starting at the start of April, I think it is. You know, we're looking to hit it off with a banger with some awesome races and a bucket load of cars out on track.
Yeah, absolutely. So the season does return on the 11th of April at the Tuesday Night V8 AM series. So that's going to be the fire starter for the new season. But yeah, no, we'll definitely looking forward to seeing some new faces and some new teams in there.
Dylan DeBono with 3-1 on cold tyres.
Matty Gerard.
Crazy time.
He's going to come back and... No, he didn't. He must have gotten off track there. He probably did a bit of that. And this is very easy
in quali, buddy, though. So.
Very easy to get you off track here, isn't it, Cowy? You can't overstep too far.
Well, it's sort of one of those places where there's a couple of places where you can cut the corner quite a bit, so that emboldens you to try and find more of them. But in quali, we all know what happens when you cut the corner and get a 1X. It voids your lap, so, you know, it's always a fine line of, you know, how far do you push it, because generally that's where the speed is, especially like here at T1. If you can run right to the edge and use all of the track on exit here, you can, you know, carry an extra few Ks an hour on your opponent.
Yeah, Max Donnelly's jumped in the P2. That's a good lap by Matt. Matty Gerard here, though, is going to push up. Matty Gerard's at the top. 102.69.
Tyres are just starting to warm up, so we're starting to see a few of the boys get into the 2s. We did see in the practice there was a couple of guys in the 1s, so that's the benchmark.
P6. Right.
It's still early, buddy. But one of the things we've got to think about, it is a sprint round, so 4 minutes into qualifying already, and we know what happens in a sprint round. When quali hits 15 minutes, that's it. 3 seconds, 2, 1, done. So you don't get to finish your lap, so these guys really want to try and put down a flyer as early as they can. Last thing you want to be doing is having to clip balls and go back and get your car fixed, because that gives you come to get a couple of toppers again.
Now to the top with a 102.15. But they're just edging these times. And Max Donnelly's just throwing a purple in the final sector there. Oh, Max
I think
on a
I think
flyer.
one of the things, well, I think it's one of the things that makes these cars exciting to watch too, is that because it takes a few laps to get up the temperature in the tyres, even in quality, we keep seeing green and purple sectors, which is awesome.
Yeah, there's Jake
Like
Edwards on screen
sometimes-
now. He's about to knock. Does he get to the top? Oh, he not quite. He slots in between the two Velocity SimLab boys there with Dylan DeBono and Dougie Gowans. That's an effort. And Dylan DeBono's on
1, 2,
another
4,
purple.
so, you know, these guys are starting to amp it up. I mean, one of the things about those times in practice too is sometimes they can give you a misnomer because practice will include any of those off-track times as well. So if you find a half a second exploit that might serve you at times in the race, but in quali you can't use them.
But I think in the other facets there of practice is you get in early and you've got no one around you, so you can just get out and throw in a lap. When you've got cars around you coming and going, they're at different tyre points on the racetrack, they're hot, they're cold, all that kind of stuff. It really can bulk your lap up a little bit there, but we see Dylan DeBono just edging on the 61 second window right now. This Fritzy was on a good one there too.
Right up the back.
Oh no, and he's just lost it. Oh, that's unlucky.
Right at the end there
Bryson
too.
McAvoy,
So
yeah. 3 green sectors. Or can he deliver here? Can he get inside the 10? It'd be nice.
knowing
Mr.
Tyson,
McAvoy?
he probably hasn't had too much practice, so he's just jumped in and driven it. But
Donald on a good one here as well. Where is
well,
Matt?
he's currently running P3 in the championship, so he wants a good result tonight. Sprint rounds to get a couple of stabs at it, but you know it's easy for this to be an okay round rather than a great round, because if you have one of those races where you're a bit off.
Max Donnelly to P2. What a lap. Take
And
it
that's only
out.
what,
And Dougie Gowans.
600s.
Dougie Gowans is on
600
all
something.
greens as well, mate. So this is going to get really hot really quickly in this mid-pack here.
Well, the other thing we've got to remember too, buddy, is this is sprint round tonight, so 2 races, and action aplenty here for the TCRs, and then we do it again for the F3, so it's another double header.
Yeah, exactly. Doug Gowans up in a P2 now. By 2/100ths of a second.
Well, Dougie is one of our drivers that is doing the F3s as well, so he's going to be doing the double as well, mate. So
Yeah,
at least we're not
exactly.
alone there.
Dylan Duano's about to go in the 61s.
2 purples in there, so yeah. Look at
Oh, did he? No, he didn't.
what did he get?
Yes, he did.
That's a
61.89. He's in there. Max Donnelly's on an absolute flyer, mate. I don't know. Does it get him up there? Oh,
Greens.
P2. Oh, Matty Gerard's also on a cracker. Dougie Gowans there with the purple sector in 2. These boys are getting hot now. Tyrone Walsh has got all greens as well, mate.
Well, the problem is this is what 61, 62 second laps where they're only doing half of the Oulton Park full international layout. This is the Foster's layout. But the problem is it means that we're calling times every 5 seconds because they're just lapping so quick around here.
Oh, Dougie Gowans is just on the border of the 61 second lap.
There's a
Tyrone
couple of them.
Walsh comes across, jumps up to P9. Dylan DeBono's on 2 more purples. He is on an absolute flyer here. Can he push to the 60-second barrier? No.
And it is a
Doesn't.
101.
He
He took
did go-
about a 10th there.
He
Oh,
took
no,
100th.
100th.
100th out of his lap time. Mark Cocker, we're just talking about him in the lead up too with the Apex boys. I believe he's going to drop himself into P7.
1026 there.
Then
the moment,
Fritz
so-
on a good lap as well here in the Whiskey Runners. So this is part of the Teams Championship we're talking about. So this is going to be interesting. Him and Tyler Sheaf working together there tonight. So Tyler's in P8. Daniel needs to get a good sector. He hasn't got a good one there on Sector 3, sadly. But what is he doing? He does bring
that
himself
was,
up to P9.
27.
Yeah, that's nice.
I jumped up a couple of spots.
Dylan DeVino. Slow down
15
before you
runners
hurt
out there
somebody,
tonight,
mate.
buddy.
Yeah, we got 15.
Oh, his purples again
16.
in there from
Yeah,
Dylan,
sorry,
so he's
15.
finding pace. Every sort of lap he's finding it.
Does he crack the 60-second barrier? Oh, he's got another 100th off. He just took another 100th off his lap time. Dylan DeBono, that's some real skill there, buddy. I think we might be seeing the absolute pinnacle lap time there, about 101.87. So that's a good lap there. I hope to see if anyone can challenge it. I think a couple of them got back to pit lane.
Being one of our real world drivers, I can see where, you know, okay, one of the things that you maybe do differently in a sim that you do in the real world is, you know, in a sim you can just jump in and try and send it from the word go. Generally, when you go to a track day weekend for a race, then you're building speed over the entire weekend.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
you find it lap by lap by lap, and what we're seeing with Dylan in qualifying here is he just pushes that little bit more the next lap and then that little bit more as he keeps sort of pushing it.
Jumps to P7.
Yeah, nice lap there from the boss man.
Only 100th behind Jake Edwards, and we saw Jake really quick in the practice. So Matty Gerard on the screen now. He's on an absolute flyer. 3 green sectors. Can he deliver on the last one? Oh, I think that's going to be an off track. Does it count?
Oh,
It does count. It does move you on to P4.
E4, great work from Matty. Matty, one of the guys I've been competing against a fair bit in the GTs.
Oh,
With.
Stephanie.
Oh, moment for a step.
Oh, bang.
That shouldn't have hurt the car very much.
You
A
wouldn't have
tyre
thought so.
scrape there. But the problem is that it means another whole lap to build that speed back up again because it was right at the start.
Yeah, that's a problem. If you get those little incidences that happen right at the back end of a lap or at the start of a lap, it's so hard. At the back end, it's probably the worst because it buggers the last lap you're just on, and it does the same for the next lap as well. So, ugh. Back at it, Stephanie, get another one. Hey, Greg leaks on 2 green sectors here, mate. Oh, Greg,
Well,
you
we're
leak.
coming down to about 3 minutes to go, buddy. So if you're going to pull it out, now is the time. Come on, Leaky, send it hard.
All green.
got 3
so far
green
for Leaky.
sectors.
Yeah, he's on
Yeah.
fire, mate. What can he deliver? Can he steal something away from these boys and girls? Greggy Leak, P8.
Yeah, jumps up inside the top 10.
Greggy
That's
Leak,
a
take
great lap
it
there
out.
from Greggy.
Absolutely.
Alright, so the Team Greg boys mean business tonight. Though I can't see. Greg Johnson is out there, I apologise.
Yeah, he's
We're only
in.
at 103.6 so far from the other Greg. He's on an out lap now, so he's going to find it hard to get those tyres up the temp to put in a hot lap. At the moment, it looks like pretty much everyone's out on track. I think
Absolutely.
Tyson Styles.
No, we got Max
he's out
Donnelly,
there.
Mark Cochran, Daniel Fritz, Tyrone Walsh, Michael Locke. They're all not on track right now, so...
Tyson Styles and Greg Johnson on their out laps. So the problem is we've seen, it takes 2 or 3 laps to get the tyres up the temp and these things. So they will have to be right on the edge of grip to, advance themselves in this qualifying session. About 2 minutes, just under 2 minutes to go, buddy. So maybe a lap and a half for the guys that are out there.
Boston McAvoy is on 2 green. Can he deliver a 3rd green sector on this lap? Oh, it's an orange. Might not be that bad though. It depends on how he finishes this lap.
Yeah, well, it's only got to be 100th of a second slower to be an orange or a 1,000th.
That's it.
Let's see how it goes. See what time he can put up on the board.
102.33.
It's a 102.3, so
He did better
did
it.
improve his time for about a 10th, but still needs to find about another 10th and a half to pit Tyson Styles for P5. But that will put Tyson on the 3rd row at the moment, so that's a pretty good start for someone that doesn't really do much practice around here, just jumps on and drives it. But he does enjoy driving these front wheel cars. I don't know how he can do it. No, any of these guys can do it.
Yeah,
I need a big thumping V8 to get the car to step out on me so I can get around a corner.
I'm actually thinking I might jump in these as well next season. So for some of you guys who are unaware, we are jumping out of the Combox on Tuesday night to jump into the V8s, and more will be disclosed on that next week. But they're really thinking about jumping into these as well. I think these are a lot of fun. I love driving these TCRs. That there's just something about them.
It's still alien for me. I can't seem to get it. Look, one of the things that is hard is when you try to want to be able to drive multiple classes and that. To get any matter of pace in a car, you really need to focus on it. You know, I mean, it's close.
No, he's not going to get it.
No, there's only about 5 seconds left, so he's
on greens as well. No, that's it. That's it. That's quality done and dusted, mate. Right there, bam.
And they disappear. That's it. Oh, well. Qualifying is over. Again, guys, this is our double-header TCR Round 9 Super Show. The F3s have also got a double-header after this. So, it's Oulton Park for the TCRs tonight, and there are your qualifying results up on screen. It is the Velocity Sim Sports pair of Dylan DeBono and Doug Gowans sharing the front row. Max Donnelly for the New Zealand sim racing team in P3, alongside him Matty Gerard, the third Velocity Sim Labs machine. Tyson Styles and Tyson McAvoy, apologies Tyson, I'll get crucified for that, but it's an all Tyson row 3. Jake Edwards and Greg Leake in row 4, so crisscross and Team Greg machines there. Mark Cochran and Tyler Sheep bringing up our round row 5 and 9th and 10th position. And then we've got Daniel Fritz, Tyron Walsh, Greg Johnson, Stephanie Piccoli and Michael Locke in 15th position. Our race controllers Adam Hughes and Greg Barra. Mate, round 9, it's still there to play. These guys have, and girls I should say, have been showing all year how they can drive these things. Now's the time to put it into practice around such a tight little circuit.
Yeah, mate. I mean, this is going to be it, isn't it? We got about 30 seconds before the lights come on, and they get unleashed to go and run absolute chaos around there, and we just got some thunder. That's interesting. I think the weather gods are getting excited as well, mate. It's going to be interesting. So yeah, we're riding on board with the chopper cam right now at the top of the podium, or actually, sorry, over the top of the grid, as we follow them through to the start and see what they can deliver. So riding just over the top of Max Donnelly there.
Here come the lights. It is round 9 of our TCR Championship, all thanks to Warren and Brown Tools, and the cars are away. Dylan DeBono with a really poor start, though. Was that maybe running shadow for Doug Gowans? Or not?
I don't know. There's a bit
trying
of
to get
team play
the inside there. It was Tyson on Tyson behind us.
I think there might have been a bit of team play on that one. And you know, you got Matty Gerard back here too, so he's the third player in that team. So again, good looking for him.
With a great jump off the line there, so he's grabbed a couple of spots already, and putting it in P5 at the moment. Sorry, Greg Leake. So it was Matty Gerard who bogged down off the line. He's down 4 spots, and Tyson Styles. Something happened to Tyson as he started from the pit lane or missed the grid, because he's not even there.
Yeah,
Tyson Styles, that's a big.
Because he left pit lane, so
I'm thinking that he missed the start and had to start from pit lane.
Yeah, quite possibly, mate. It's one of those things. We'll jump on the nose here with McAvoy and see what he's looking at, which is a big gaggle of steel in front of him, mate. So this is going to be interesting.
Well, we've said it before multiple times, buddy. The moment you start to get TCRs clumped together on the track and they're battling each other, that slows everyone up. So it means the guys behind get a chance to catch up. So, you know, if you've got teammate together up front, like Doug Gowans has with his teammate Dylan, those two can just work together, not battle each other. And that really makes it hard for the pack to stay with them, especially if the pack are battling.
Yeah, well, look, Tyson just got through on Max Donnelly here too. So while we were riding with Stephanie, I just noticed that the timing tree was going a little bit crazy. And yeah, Tyson McAvoy just jumps through one more spot.
Oh, Nathan Allen saying there should be no team orders in Velocity. So you think that Dylan just got a bad start, eh? Okay, maybe some inside info there from Nathan.
I mean, We don't know what the boys are talking about in the chat though, but you know, it'd be interesting. I mean, I'm sure there's something there. I mean,
who was that? There's that Stephanie that just ran wide in the background there, I think. Yeah, and your wonderful other half just hoping for no blackouts. That'd probably be a good thing, seeing you're doing the production tonight, buddy.
SLM, you know, just said no point when no one's racing for anything. Well, I mean, there's still a team championship on the line.
Have really checked out, so I suppose, yeah, unless there's a bit of, you know, personal drive between Doug and Dylan. Maybe Dylan wanted to let Doug through so he could chase him down. Is that the key? Is that the key?
Gerard, look at the run, Matty Gerard.
Tyson. I was wondering if Tyson got a little bit checked there. And Matty Gerard's gone wide. I see that double snap oversteer there, the grass, and then he caught it again. So, unfortunately, that's going to throw him right back as the pack is still pretty close together, being only lap 3. Predicting maybe a 20-lap race here. It is a just over 1 minute lap for the shortened version here, the Foster's layout here at Oulton Park. So, 20 laps. It's going to go by in a blink, buddy, and then we've got a reverse top 10, so...
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, these short tracks like this, and 20 minutes, they don't seem to last very long as a driver. You're in the hot seat, and you just don't know, you're like, before you realise it's all finished, so, Tyson with a heap of curve, as we watch there, but Max Donnelly's gotten back around Tyson, and now shot off into the distance there, you can see it on screen.
Yeah, so I wonder if Tyson made a little mistake there that we missed, because Max got through on him, and then we saw Matty Gerard putting the pressure on him there as well before Matty ran wide. Tyrone Walsh here running in P10, so he's up a couple of spots, probably thanks to Tyson and Matty Gerard's little moments, but trying to put the pressure on Greg Johnson at the moment. So.
Let's go back to McAvoy and see what he's done here. So he's come through the little kink at 2. Run down in here. Oh, look at it's all crossed up out of shape. Yeah.
Good.
He's
caught it.
He's going to go off track. Oh no. Oh, hang on to it, Tyson.
Okay, so that's why he didn't have any speed through here, and the guys were able to go. So that's a pretty good catch, really.
That'll be a slowdown too, really. And there goes Max.
Yeah, there we see Max got through here. There would be a big slowdown, and then we had Matty Gerard pressure. So that's what happened. All right, so back with live action. We're on board with Tyrone Walsh running in P10 at the moment. Dylan DeBono. So far, Doug's been able to maintain that gap out front, but not getting away from his teammate. And then we've got Jake Edwards. Well, he'd be looking to try and get his Whitey Pies machine right in the middle of this Velocity Sim sandwich. He's got a good run here. You can see Dylan immediately get to the inside to cover. So that's fairly early on.
Yeah, we're only 5 minutes into this race, so...
As we said, this battle here runs nice cover for Doug Gowan's out front. But Jake's not worried about that. He's not thinking about that. He's thinking about Dylan DeBono's rear bunker right in front of him and trying to find a way past it.
There was a call then on race controls, something to do with that. Whoa, Jake Edwards.
Was that a send from Jake? But he couldn't get the exit and couldn't get in a position where he could block past there, where you can get in front and then slow your opponent's exit. So, Dylan, probably good awareness there, let him through and then get him on the undercut again.
Yeah, he probably saw it coming and thought there's no way he's going to pull this up, and if he does, mate, hats off to him. So just let it go, and that's what she does. So that was a nice little exchange here by the boys. So we see
back on the back of him too. So
there he's quick tonight, Jake Edwards.
Look, we're missing the timing tower there, buddy. If you want to try and see if you can get that up for everyone. There we go. Just as they come over, we can see that. All good, but Jake Edwards is really sort of piling the pressure on here. Still a little bit far back for Dylan to have to do anything major, but just closes in nicely under brakes there.
These don't really like the curves much. I've noticed that there. We saw Tyson McAvoy earlier hit that, and we've seen a couple of guys hit that curve, and it's just, that curve was very, very brutal.
the Veloster handles them a lot better than the Audi does. The Audi's the big stiff machine out here. So Tyson McAvoy, Tyson Styles, I know those two guys are in the Audi. Also Max Donnelly, an Audi runner as well. So those three would be probably the guys staying away from the curbs as much as they can.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Well, you'd hope so, because the last thing you want is a bit of damage now.
Well, at the moment, it's getting a couple of good little battles here. There's a couple of orange and yellow marks on the tower. So Dylan De Bono and Jake Edwards are now closing right on the back of Doug Gowan's up front. And we've got a good little battle there between Tyson Styles and Greg Johnson, I should say, as well. But yeah, look at this nice close battle. And I think, Doug's already got the championship one, so Dylan, you're allowed to send it, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know if he's actually going to do that or what's going on there, but yeah, he's just set the blistering 101.78 for race pace, so maybe a little fuel discrepancy, a little bit lighter, something like that. No idea, but definitely he's
look
fast.
At this great run he's got here. Is Doug going to go to cover? No, he thought about it, Dylan.
Dylan actually seemed to roll out of that then, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought he might have sent it, but he didn't.
So,
Jake Edwards, these guys have built out about a 5-second gap over Max Donnelly in P4. And Tyson's he's closing the gap slowly, Tyson McAvoy at the moment. 102.3 last lap, so that's going to help him close up. Fritzy here in P8 at the moment. He's got his teammate Tyler Sheep in front of him, is it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Tyler Sheep, the whisker on the boys, yeah. Yeah, right there.
And they can see is that Mark Cochran and Tyson McAvoy in front of them, so
that is.
Good little 4-car battle here. But Tyson maybe just has a little bit of a jump, but I don't know if it's enough to break the toe just yet. Matty Gerard was showing good pace at the moment, but had that little wide mistake, and that cost him a whole heap of positions. So now in the Veloster, I think trying to work his way back through the field. P12 at the moment, but we can see him closing down on Tyrone Walsh and Greg Johnson, who have been battling for the last few laps, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. And
Mark Cochran with pressure.
He's really all over the back of Mr. McAvoy. Not giving it easy.
Well, that's all right. I've got some advertising there on the back of that car. Let's just keep looking at that. No, it's a good battle here, and Mark, welcome to sit in behind him for as long as you want, buddy. I'm fine with that. No. Okay, he's pushing hard. You can see Tyson again. That Audi, it really bounces a bit. Stiff bit of curve there, but he has got the power down pretty good.
Yeah, he's definitely got he gets the power down off the corner really well, even though he gets that big hike.
Little tank slapper to Mark there, but he caught it well. I mean, it's one of those things, the TCR, you can get away with a tank slapper because all the drivers are the front of the car, but it still can be pretty unsettling, if you're not expecting it.
Here's Tyrone Walsh on the back of Johnson.
This battle has been going on for quite some time now, these boys racing hard. I don't think we've really seen Greg try to go defensive or anything. He's just trying to race his own lines. Oh, look at that nice move from Matty Gerard. Sneaking up the inside there. Good pass.
Completely missed that. Let's get a replay on that, because I was not watching that on the timing tower at all. So Matty Gerard, take a bow, son. That was a good pass.
Well, we got to see, Tyson's Tyrone's look at that as well, which was great. Yeah, nice little move. And he kept it tight and tucked so he could get on the power, straight away and get to full throttle once you get down the hill.
So now he's going to hound the back of Greg Johnson, trying to get a bit of recovery mode. If he, we talk about this with these sprint racing, Cowy, but Matty Gerard really only needs one spot in the next 8.5 minutes, because that'll put him in the front row for the next race.
That's right. This is the battle for P10 at the moment, and Greg's got one. He's left the door slightly open. Matty had a hard look. There was a little nibble there. Thought maybe all of his breakfasts had come at once, but no, thought better of it, and Greg did well to get on the power. So Matty Gerard will have to take another lap maybe to set it up. But they are running out of laps. We are almost 12 minutes into this race. 12 laps gone, so Dylan De Bono back on the back of his teammate here in P1, Doug the Grandpa Gowans. And maybe, I don't know, is the Grandpa feeling all of his years at the moment?
Matty Gerard's gone.
And no, he tried to push that as hard as he could, Matty. And the grass said, no, I'm going to spit you out the other way.
He's now going to get a good run on Greg Johnson, because I think Greg was watching that in the mirror. I just kind of got a little bit out of that. It was just like, oh, I don't want to borrow this. But that allowed Tyrone Walsh to get right back to the back of him again.
Hey, I love seeing it. Matty Gerard obviously sending it hard there. He's made the mistake early on, and it's all about trying to push his way through the field. So, you know, sometimes it doesn't work, and you've only got to make a little mistake when you're pushing that hard for it to happen. All right, so we are still with our leaders at the moment. Dylan DeBono here getting behind his teammate Doug the Grandpa Gowans. You can see Dylan's got good pace, so he's been able to stay with Doug the whole time.
Watch as we get around. Look onto the top right of the screen. Look what's coming up. They're catching traffic, mate. Traffic. Does this give Jake Edwards a real sniff now to try and get into the back of these two?
Well, I'd be hoping to see Dylan start trying to make some moves, because at the moment, you know, Dylan's sort of pushing his teammate, but he's not threatening his teammate. So therefore, they're both just driving really fast, and that means Jake's got to drive hard to try and catch up to him, going deep there in him. But he has caught up a couple of tenths with that move, so nice work there, going a little bit deep and carrying good speed. Yeah, but still probably not close enough to really make a move at this point. It is 14 laps. We're on lap 14, I should say, so 13 gone. So they are running out of time. Tyrone Walsh and Greg Johnson, well, we've talked about this battle a few times, and it's back on again. You know, we had Matty Gerard come in and sort of split it there for half a lap. But, you know, as they say, the good battles don't end. These guys
we also
hard.
lost there, mate. We lost Mark Cochran in the scheme of things, getting past Tyson McAvoy. So Mark Cochran here just doing it on the front straight. Just says, thank you very much. Got a good run out, and
looks like he's just carried a lot
later.
Better. Yeah, he's just carried a lot more speed out of the last corner and down the little hill there, and has enough to put the car up the inside for T1 and get it done. So we'll have to keep an eye on the split there to see if Tyson can stay with him. I think the gap's about a second at the moment. But Tyrone Walsh and Greg Johnson, well, Tyrone's got a little bit of a run here. Does Greg go defensive? No, he hasn't. Tyrone thought about it. I think maybe that might have been your chance to send it, Tyrone. But now he's got a nice run here, and Greg's gone across.
Going to get him up the inside, I reckon.
Greg's going for the defence on the inside, so can Tyrone get it done? Alright, so Greg's a little shallow there, so that might give Tyrone a bit of a run down here into the kink.
I'll have to see if he can play it.
Well, I think we maybe just saw Greg Johnson taking over to 1x to make sure he carried enough speed there too.
Jake Edwards. What's going on here?
Has got past Dylan DeBono.
Well, let's have a look.
So what's happening here?
Is this traffic related?
No, look at that. A deep send.
Jake's just sent it hard. Dylan's kind of blocked it. He just said, no, I'm coming through, Mr. DeBono. Excuse me.
That's what I'm talking about. That there is what I was talking about the previous time when he sent it through. He couldn't get in a position to block the exit of the other car. That time, he was able to block Dylan's run. And Dylan had to get out of it. That's why he's got the spot done.
That's Tyler Stiefner now gotten around Tyson McAvoy. I don't know what's going on there. It looks like Tyson's gone off track again, so he's pushing a little bit hard there.
He only knows one way, mate, and that is to send it.
Look at the traffic here.
Proximity. Little moment from Dylan.
The traffic is
that was
everywhere.
Dylan trying to take advantage of that.
He's using the draft, absolutely.
And it almost caught him out, but Jake Edwards, he's now pressuring the leader, and the leader's got traffic in front, so this could be a ripe opportunity here for the Whitey Pies machine and Jake Edwards. Sorry, I apologise, not the Whiteys. Apologise there, Jake.
Greg Leakes just in an awkward spot.
They've both taken the 1x there to hold speed. I don't blame him. But we
Dylan's
are
got a
down
nice
to
run here.
almost 5 minutes to go here. You said there was contact there, you think, Nathan Allen?
Juice, you just hear that thing bottom out, eh? It's kind of brutal. Kind of
These
brutal.
guys are racing hard. Greg Lee could be trying to stay with them if he can.
Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this.
Oh,
Tyson
the
Styles.
inside.
Oh, it's going to bring McAvoy back in it as well. There's gonna
Great
be a
driving
three
from
car.
both those boys there because Daniel just gave him enough room. He could have easily come down and Tyson would have spun him and ended up with a penalty. So that's some good driving there, and that's also opened the door for Tyson to come back and fight to get these spots back. He has a little bit of a sniff as soon as that run wide. No,
It's Fritzy.
I
Fritzy's
thought
gone a
Fritzy
little
ran
wide.
then.
He did just a
Yeah.
little because Styles has now got the run right at the inside. As
And Tyson's
McAvoy
going to try and
capitalised.
sneak up the inside. Yeah, well, I thought he was going to sneak up the inside there. Try and use the open door that Tyson Styles provided.
I think he's going to...
Oh, it's on. It's a good run here from all these guys.
Tyson's trying to change lines here. He's trying to get a better run. He's got the
He's
run
got
here.
a great run. He got a great run out of T1 there.
He can't... He just can't use
Daniel
it.
Fritz has held up the inside there, yeah. Oh, he's going to try the deep under brakes. Tyson does call himself master of the late breakers, and I so far have not seen anything to deny him that title.
This
Dylan
is on.
DeBona here, he is watching this battle out front. Jake Edwards and Doug Gowans are wringing the necks of these TCRs.
Yeah,
And we
absolutely.
have just over 1 minute to go. So did you see a white flag there? I think they might have got around before the white flag.
I think I might have just squeezed that in, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
and Jake's
Jake's...
no, I thought Jake was going to have a look there. Doug went really deep.
Dylan got a good
Dylan
run
trying
through
to get
there.
the inside. Oh, going for the crisscross now.
Oh,
And look at Jake just positioned the car on the inside there, make it hard for Dylan. So he's now defending.
oh, he's
That
tight
gives
there,
a
though.
little bit of a breather.
Oh.
Oh.
There's no damage on the back of that car. How did he not clean him up then?
Boys are driving hard. Oh, Dylan with a big send out and he's turned.
Oh, no.
So I don't know. Okay, that's a quick redress call from race control. So he lets. Oh no! Oh no! And that's on the white flag. So that is a massive moment.
What's going on
from
there?
Jake.
Let's have a look here. What's going on?
I wonder if he's thought that he's cleared it. I don't
no.
know. Maybe he thought Dylan got out of it a bit more. That. I don't know if I'd say that, SLM. We'll have to see what race control's got to say about that because that is a big moment
So we
in
are on
this
the white
race.
flag. But look who's snuck up in a P2 with that, mate. Max Donnelly.
Max
And
Donnelly.
P3's Mark Cochran. So,
Well, it does sort of change things there, and well, Jake Edwards, P2 in the championship. So, I honestly don't think Jake would have done that deliberately. I think maybe he thought that Dylan had got out of it a bit more and could
we don't
cross
know,
over.
mate.
I don't know.
no idea. It's just... We'll have to wait and
Well,
see
look,
what race
I
control
always
deems
give
that.
everyone the benefit of the doubt. I don't think there's any deliberate actions out there as far as I see them. But that's because I'm a racer. I love racing with these boys, and I want to let everyone know that, you get up alongside me and have a great battle. So,
Tyson, is he out of fuel? It sounds like he's
well, no,
coughing.
that's the end of the race, mate. That was the end
No,
of the
but
race. That
it
was,
sounds like he's coughing, dude. He's got nothing.
could be.
He's got...
okay, so maybe just trying to roll until the
Toe point,
until,
maybe?
until everything ends there. So that is the end of the sprint round. Well, that was a crazy finish to the end of race number 1. I think race control will have a look at that, and we'll have to see what happens. But we'll see if we can get our race 1 winner, Doug the Grandpa Gowans, into the green room and have a bit of a chat to him. Having listened to race control at the moment. Okay, so race control is saying they're still investigating. There was a rejoin that was mentioned there on the last lap, as well as that incident we saw on camera.
Start finish right.
So, well, it will be a 5-minute little practice warm-up session, so the guys will get a chance to maybe tweak those setups for race number 2.
I think I need to, because it's a fuel stop one, this one.
Well, it's interesting, buddy. So yeah, we did. Thanks to was it Brad that sent through the numbers for us tonight, buddy?
Yep, absolutely.
It was. So thanks very much to my rival in the AM league, but I got to thank him if he's helped me in the comms. No, but yeah, letting us know that sort of the lap burn is about 1.2 per lap around here. The cars have a max 26 litres, and Brad's saying that they'll probably need 38 if it goes the distance. So probably 10 to 12 litres they're getting to put in. So the thing will be that if we have a safety car at any point during the race, then that's probably going to take 3 or 4 minutes off the race. So that's 3 or 4 laps. So that's now 6 litres off. So now you're starting to get into the territory of maybe saving and getting home without a stop. So it will be something to keep an eye on. That may well, shuffle up the field, or the safety car always has a tendency to shuffle things up, buddy. And we all know what happens when you get one safety car, they breed more safety cars. So who knows, buddy?
But would we expect to see safety cars? I mean, that'd be a big strategy call to have a strategy built around a safety car. I mean, we just saw 20 minutes and not one safety car, so I don't know, that'd be gutsy.
I know, I saw 2 last night. We didn't think. Look, the issue is this is one of those tracks that I think a lot like Oulton Park. It's one of those tracks that's really good. You get into the groove, right? But the moment you've got to start pushing and try and making moves and passes and setting up runs, that's when you're pushing the limits. And this is a track that will hurt you if you just go an incy-wincy tiny bit outside those limits. So,
absolutely.
And we've seen it in this race, several mistakes from a few of the drivers. And then we saw, Matty Gerard pushing hard there from the back, made quite a few places, and then pushed once too hard, and that's what happens when you're back there and you're pushing the limits, I suppose.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like we're going to get to have a chat with Dougie Gowans between these sessions. So big shout out to Dougie Gowans on the win. Well done, mate. And let's see what you can do from P10. Oh, hold on. Wow, there we go. So 97 just been issued a 20-second stop and hold penalty to be issued on lap 1 of this feature race. So that was from that contact on the front straight. And the rejoin was no further action, I believe. Cowy.
Yeah, that's what they've sort of said. So yeah, be a 20-second stop and hold. So you'll have to pit on lap 1 off the grid and stop in 20 seconds. Well, I'm not sure there, Salem, if they've called that deliberate or not. But race control has come down with the long, hard arm of the law, and that's what happens. And you got to, take your licks, I suppose.
That's it.
Well, we are coming down. The warm-up is almost over. We see a couple of the guys. Matty Gerard just practicing his start. I think he had an absolute shocker. That's why he's practicing
he
that
didn't
again.
get off the line very well, no.
I can sympathise with you, Matty. I had a couple of ordinary starts last night myself, so the second one was better than the first one, but then I decided to run Tim Nichols into the wall because I didn't know he was there. All right, well, we will have the cars gridding up. Here is the grid for race number 2. Remember, this is our reverse grid 30-minute feature race here for the TCRs, and it is Dylan DeBono for Velocity Sim Labs. That is on P1. Tyson McAvoy, Performance Sim Racing, alongside him on the grid, P2. Tyrone Walsh and Greg Johnson. Well, that was a great battle in race number 1. It's now reversed, so I'll have to see if Greg can keep the same pressure on Tyrone that Tyrone kept on Greg all race. Daniel Fritz and Tyson Stiles, Velocity Sim Labs and Crisscross Racing there. Tyler Sheaf and Mark Cochran, round 4. Max Donnelly and Doug Gowans, our race 1 winner, back in P10. Matty Gerard and Jake Edwards in P12. Jake Edwards with that penalty over his head. And then I think it's Greg Leake, Stephanie Bacoli and Michael Locke bringing up the last 3 spots on the grid. Well, certainly a drama-packed finish to race number 1. Will it be drama at the start of race 2 here? This is round 9 of our TCR Championship, and it's Oulton Park, and here they go. So a great start from Tyson. That Audi off the line always gets a bit better launch than the other cars, and he's able to put it up the inside. Who's that? Is that Greg Johnson up the inside of Tyrone Walsh? Maybe contact.
Contact, yeah.
Dylan DeBono looking to try and get that spot immediately back of Tyson, but Tyson's shot clear, and Tyrone Walsh has got the job done on Greg Johnson as well. Oh no! Tyrone speared off, so what's that, with a bit of grass or something there? We've got contact in the back. That's Matty,
That's Max Donnelly.
Max Donnelly, and who was that? I'm not sure who he made contact there. Was that Matty Gerard? Did he make contact with there? Not sure, I missed that. Race control already looking at it here. Matty Gerard had a slowdown there. By the looks of it, had to get out. Let Doug Gowan, his teammate, through. Maybe that was what it was. But he's now got Greg Lick right on his tail. And Tyson McAvoy, well, he's going to defend hard this position. Dylan DeBono behind him. This is going to be hard work here for Tyson. But straight away from the lap 1, the moment the start of this race, this is where Tyson wants to be. He wants to be battling up the front always. So I can't see him letting this down. Great run from Dylan. He's gone, oh, look right, look left. But I think Dylan's showed a bit of patience here. He's stuck the nose up a couple of times to have a look. But when it comes to actually making the move stick, he's gone, no, I'll sit here, I'm fine.
I'm just going to interject. Hang on, Gary. I'm just going to interject. Guys, understand this is passion that you guys have got in the chat, but really blowing up in the chat is not the place for it. If you've got something you want to discuss with Race Controller Admin, please take it into the right channels. Doing it on a social media is not the place for it. I'm just going to interject and cut over top here because we don't need that kind of stuff. I get it, emotions are high and there's interview, like teams that are battling and stuff like that, but can we just keep it at least civil in the chat and, you know, take the appropriate action?
Let's focus on the great racing we have ahead of us here, because this is...
They might have SLM, but take it to the Discord. Writing it in YouTube chat is not helping anybody. So let's just tone it down, bring it back to a more peaceful level, and let's just get back to some good racing, eh? Sorry,
Dylan's playing peekaboo here, buddy. Look at this. He's going left and right there, trying to be as big in Tyson's mirrors as he can. I think Matty Gerard here on the back of Mark Cochran's. This is the battle for P7 at the moment, and he is charging hard. Matty Gerard, he's shown some good pace around here, but he's right on the limit, I think, every lap. So we've seen a couple of mistakes, but I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not going to think anything lesser of Matty for that, because I know exactly what's right off with a big off and a rejoin. He had a nice gap there, so I had to
I'm not saying you can't comment SLM, I'm just saying let's keep it civil. As simple as that. Just, we got some good racing, let's enjoy it.
Alright, well, at the moment here is the battle. This is Daniel Fritz in P6 at the moment. The Fritzie's down 1 spot off the grid, but he's holding his own. I think that would have been Doug Gowans that got past him before. Doug's up 5 positions already. So a great start off the line there. And now, you know, Jake Edwards, he's up 8 at the moment, but he still has that stop ahead of him. So, so Tyler Sheep currently running P3 at the moment. He's up 4 spots. So Tyler had a great start off the line as well. So that's that Audi off the line. Has got some great sort of launch capability. I know that Scott Rankin last season was saying it was really hard to compete with those Audis off the line. But Daniel Fritz here having a good ding-dong battle, and Leakey really close behind him as well. Oh, what's happened there? Someone in the wall. I think there could be a safety car. We've had, is that Michael Locks had a crash, is it? To try and see what's happened there, buddy. Well, it'll give these guys a bit of a chance to settle down and bunch back up again. So safety car leading pit lane now, so we'll be catching the leader. At the moment, Tyson McAvoy. Okay, everyone's going to pit now, are they? Right, okay, well, Greg Leake chose not to. Is that Tyler Sheep? He stayed out there. Tyson McAvoy stayed out as well. So that will be interesting. Okay, so it was Stephanie Piccoli that had to tow. So, let's see if we can see what happened to Stephanie there, buddy.
Let's see. Did SDK pick it up? Well, it says she come back on track, but then jumped to pits, so...
Well, come back on track, so she might have got stuck in the wall.
So let's see if we...
Yeah.
No, she's
the car's broken. Yeah.
Just rewind and we'll see if we can grab it. Because yeah, it hasn't actually registered directly on what's gone on. That's...
Oh, it's while we have rewind, buddy.
Yeah, that's a long way back. Here we go.
Here we go here. So it looks like she's got some grass, has she?
Oh, this looks like it's up the top Druids, mate. It looks like it's up there and...
Yeah, but I think it looked like she caught some grass on the inside.
Oh, it just got loose, yeah.
She just chinked, yeah.
Oh, straight across and in the tyres. That's passenger material. Holy moly.
How far has that bounced back?
That's come back a long way, hasn't it?
That's one of the best cushions I've ever seen on a pinball table. Jeez. That's a bumper and a half, isn't it? Yeah, Tyson just flickering a bit at the moment, so I just have to keep an eye on his ping. Hopefully the boss man doesn't have any internet issues. He's been caught a bit stiff the last few rounds when he's been up near the front and something's happened. Okay, so yeah, so his ping's returning to normal by the looks of it. That's good to see. Well, maybe they're getting some storms down in Sydney as well, buddy.
Yeah, sorry, I've just got some Discord stuff going on, mate. So if you can just cover this and take it over for a little bit.
That's all right, buddy. So, well, it is the performance sim racing machine of Tyson McAvoy that as lead of the motor race at the moment. Tyler Sheep P2, Greg Leake P3. Dylan DeBono chose to pit there, so he's grabbed the fuel. I'm wondering maybe these Audis all have enough in the tank to get home, or maybe they burn a little bit less. Because you see the 3 Audis in the field, I apologise, 2 of the Audis, Tyler and Tyson, have stayed out. Max Donnelly actually pitted, and but I think he maybe had some damage there.
Alright, so we see the leaders haven't pitted, sorry. So just picking up Greg Leake now, so we'll see what happens here.
Yeah. And Tyson in control, and he's just checking them up. I was actually surprised he didn't go at the start of the hump there, because Greg Leake had timed it perfectly, if he had have. Right, well, we are live now, and Ed Tyson held him right up to the line. And look at that, Max Donnelly's, and I dug out.
Oh, that's...
Sorry, no, that is...
We're on board with Gowans, that's Dylan DeBono there.
That's right, Dylan DeBono. So yeah, Dylan had a little bit of a moment to check there. Or did he just get out to let Doug through, I think?
No, he's had a big moment there for sure. He's definitely got to slow down.
He dropped back down to 10th, yeah, so that might have been a big slowdown, you're right, buddy. Alright, well, we're back with the train of cars here going through the back half of Oulton Park. This is a really fun section of track. The car gets unloaded at times. You're sort of braking, and lots of trail braking through these sections here. As I said before, you've got to really make sure you hit that first apex of the double right-hander, because if you hit the first one, you can hit the second one. Here, it's, again, this is sort of where the road falls away from you. So if you go wide through here, alright, it is contact penalty for car 93 Tyson Styles for contact at lap 1 turn 4, so that's a drive-through penalty for Tyson Styles. So there's a fair bit of action and stuff going on, buddy, and you know, race control has had to keep a pretty astute eye out there at the moment.
Oh, I think they have to, mate, with what's going on.
Inside run there. Is that Tyson Styles going up the inside of Dylan DeBono? No, Matty Gerard and Dylan DeBono snuck through as well, so that's a nice little move from Tyson. Again, maybe one of those TCR moves where there's a bit of contact, a bit of door rubbing, but rubbing's racing, and it's definitely the case in the TCRs, buddy.
Yeah, no, exactly right, mate. Yeah, sorry. Discord just got a little bit hectic there for a minute, but you know, all's good in love and war, as they say. So let's get the boys back out there racing and get on with it. But yeah, classic battles already.
Well, that's what I'm here for, mate. I'm here for the battles. I'm not quick enough to win anything. It's all about getting out there and driving wheel to wheel. I must give a big shout out to Ray Oliver. Had an absolute cracker of a race with Ray last night. We were side by side multiple times. Both gave each other room, and we were both right on the limit. Either one of us make a little mistake, it was both of us gone. And it hasn't happened. We both made the mistake at the same time, and I've managed to avoid hitting each other in the process as well. So, but it's good fun. I'm not sure if the safety car negated the penalty. I thought that they were talking about he had to serve it afterwards, but Jake is a minute 13 behind the field at the moment, so I'd say that he's had to serve that after the end.
He's definitely a lap down, so it's kind of, yes, it kind of did, kind of didn't negate, but, you know.
I didn't negate it, because, and I think he was actually, I heard he was the one that called it out to race control to say, can you clear my penalty, because I can't take it during the safety car. So he did call it out. Alright, but Tyson Styles rating P7 at the moment. He does have a drive-through over his head though, so maybe just looking to try and enjoy one more lap of battling. Yeah, no, he didn't serve it before. I didn't think so, buddy. Oh, that's close. That is close. And, you know, when you get that close, you can almost see the primer on that car.
Well, yeah, you can almost see the primer. I mean, you can almost read the part number, can't you?
That's it, man. All right, and is that Daniel Fritz up in front of Tyson Styles here. So Fritzy, he's been having a red hot go at it tonight. And I do know that both Doug and Dylan have been sort of doing a fair bit of coaching with Tyler Sheep and you know, Matty Gerard and a few of the guys there. So Fritzy and here's Tyson to serve his drive-through. But they've been you know, all getting together, and I mean even last year with the you know, all the team angst that were going on last year and in the season, the boys were all still together working on the setups. I think last year we had fixed setups for these cars, and it was all about trying to work together and getting a setup that was good for everyone. And we used to see, practice sessions where there was 9 or 10 of these boys all out working together. So it's good to see that still going on. When we got some, got the faster guys coaching I won't say slower guys, the developing drivers. And Dylan DeBono here has now got to try and show that pro speed, see if he can cut his way through. He's got a nice run on Mark Cochran here. Mark's defended a little bit on the inside, but I think it was more that Dylan just waited to the end to make his move, but didn't quite have the overlap of speed there to get it done. So maybe now is when he can do it. And Matty Gerard, he's hard on the back of his teammate Dylan DeBono as well. And behind him, Tyrone Walsh is pretty close as well. We can see the guys there now starting to maybe use that extra bit of road that costs you a 1x in iRacing but doesn't give you a slowdown. Oh, look at that.
That's what we're just boosting the channels. I mean, it's all good. I mean, we all love the passion, and that's what it's all about. It's just passion.
Oh, look, it certainly is. We love the fact that you guys are sort of getting involved.
Oh, look at this, he's up the inside.
Oh, yeah, he's just... Oh! And that's going to open up Mark Cochran from Matty Gerard. Mark goes to the inside to defend. And I think Matty just went whichever way he could to sort of avoid contact. Can he get the over-under done? He's tried it, but Mark's got a great run off out of the dip there, and manages to hang on to P7 for the moment. But this is a red-hot battle here between these guys. Maybe throw that timing tower up again, buddy, and we'll see how close the battles really are. Remember, guys, you're looking for anything in orange or yellow. That shows you where all the hot action on track is. Doug Gowan now pushing hard on our race leader, Tyson McAvoy.
But Doug Gowan just pitted.
Well, I think those two Audi guys stayed out, so maybe they think that there's enough. They've got enough to get home.
Because Greg Leake didn't go in either. So 3 of the top 4 haven't pitted. Greg Leake, Tyler Sheep, and Tyson McAvoy haven't pitted yet.
Well, remember I said at the start.
Did you pick that up?
What's that?
Listen to.
Okay, yeah, he's clutching it, isn't he?
Hard on the save. Is he hard on the save?
Did he short fuel himself?
Is
he pitted?
Yeah, he's pitted, yeah. So, maybe he just needs to save a few litres. Maybe he just needs a little window.
Yeah, maybe he just needed to short fuel himself just to maintain a position or gain a position in the pit stops. But Tyrone Walsh here, all these guys here are battling super hard. Doesn't look like they are fuel saving at all. So clutches don't work that way anymore, especially in the TCR. I did notice in the GT3s on Friday night that the clutch didn't drop it out like it used to. So he's saying the same thing, SLM.
They're saying that in the TCRs it doesn't do it, so that's interesting.
So is that maybe more tyre management?
Oh, Cochran's up inside of Fritzy there. He's got him. Tyson McAvoy's gone the pit. McAvoy's in the pit. And Walsh is going to pit. We'll jump to Matty Gerard and we'll pick up the action. Fritzy returns serve.
No contact. Fritzy looks like the ball got away with it. Somehow they all got away with it. Lift and coast, SLM, okay, yep. But would they need to save fuel, having pitted,
well, remember,
as far as we worked out, you only needed 10 or 12 litres, so unless you were, short fueled yourself to get a spot in the pit exchange.
He might have done that though, he might have just been saving a couple of litres, just to make sure he gets through that window. We'll jump back on board with Dougie Gowans in a minute and see if he is still saving, but oh wow.
Right, so Fritzy has got out of it there. Right, just a call out about Wig in there as well.
So he's not there.
Well, there's a few emotions coming out tonight in the racing. So look, we love emotion, and I love racing. I certainly can't drive these cars,
Multi
but
21.
you know, love being in the middle of the thick of it, and you know, that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's what it's all about. I mean,
Well, Cowan didn't lift that time.
Yeah, he didn't.
No, he didn't lift through one.
Okay.
Oh, he did there, though.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Who's that requesting a tow? Is that Tyrone
21?
Walsh, I think?
21?
I'm not sure. I didn't see
Might have
the
been
name
Tyrone
pop
Walsh,
up
yeah.
there. Well, he's the only one showing
Have a look.
off on the track at the moment, so...
So maybe it was a... This is a
It
down
was.
in and cross. Yeah, it was. So
And he's been told he can tow without calling out the safety car.
Or
So
he might be off on this top side here, so he might be out of the way. Yeah, so he's gone off, back on, and off, and then back on. Oh,
yeah, damaged the car heavily, but he's well off the racetrack. So yeah,
so
I know
that makes sense.
One of the calls behind the safety car is trying to mimic what happens in the real world. So if the car is in an unsafe position where they would need to bring the safety car out to be able to retrieve the vehicle, that's when you call. That's why they call it. So in this case, he was well off the racing line and out to the left there. So he was nowhere near the racing part of the track. So, you know, effectively the rescue teams, recovery teams could get to the car. He's pushing hard. He's now in a P3, battling Tyler Sheep. Now Tyler hasn't pitted yet as well. It looks like he might be moving to pit now.
Going now, yep, there he goes.
So a couple of those guys may be trying to roll the dice and see if they could maybe another. If there had been a second safety car, they wouldn't have needed to pit, and they held onto their position. So
dare I say it, Cowy? Could we be looking? Could we be looking at velocity 1, 2, 3?
Well, at the moment, it's looking good, but Matty Gerard here, he is the third piece of the puzzle in that little equation you mentioned there. But he's got Mark Cochran in front of him. Mark Cochran at the moment is currently running, is that P4 in the championship, and he's got Matty Gerard behind him in the championship. So this is actually for championship standings, this battle here. So, should be on for young and old. Matty Gerard has showed a propensity to send it tonight, so should be exciting, buddy.
Oh, absolutely. This finished with just on 8.5 minutes now to go. There's going to be something worthy, because there's Mark Cochran. He's 3 seconds off the back of Dylan De Bono, just up the top of the screen there.
Michael McAvoy on the radio, so something's happened there with him as well. Looks like that was involved with Tyson Styles, because they're both calling it out to have a look at it. And who's that? Tyson Styles coming into the pits now to get his pit stop. There's just a few calls out on the radio, so there's some action happening on track. Michael Locke's got out of the way nicely there. Matty Gerard right on the back. Oh, he's up the nose.
That door was almost open.
You get a bit off if you stick your nose up there, Matty. Alright. Mark going to the inside to defend. So, these boys are trying hard. This is the battle for the final position on the podium, and both of these guys want it at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. That Matty Gerard just on the save as well there? Are they just trying to store up a bit of fuel to go hard for the last
Well, I'm thinking maybe it was a little bit too early for the pit window. So they pitted like a lap too early. So maybe they've got to save one lap of fuel.
Yeah, lap 5,
open that up, you know. Yeah, so, you know, they'd only done, well, it was lap 5 when the safety car came out. So what? That's only 7 or 8 litres. Yeah, that's what it's going to be, buddy. So, because it's 1.2 per lap or thereabouts. So that what you're only burning 7 litres, and you need to put in 12. So that's that window. That's what we're seeing. A few of these guys having to save a little bit. So that might keep it spicy right to the end here. Because Mark Cochrane, he's one of those guys. Greg Johnson pitted lap 7, so he might be the first of the guys that can run home. Strong Tyson McAvoy, he pitted from the lead of this motor race, but he's only 14 seconds back. So, you know, that might be a good strategy. We'll have to see what happens. But we are now inside the last 7 minutes of this motor race, almost 6 minutes. So there's not a lot of time left to get these equations done, and we'll have to see how masterful these fuel savers have managed to do it, to stretch out that extra lap, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's going to be on. That's all I can say. The last, what are we now? 5.5 minutes. So we've got about 5 laps, 6 laps left. He's going to be definitely on for young and old now, but look what we're seeing up in front here. The boys are Mark Cochrane is making time up on Dylan and Doug Allen, so he's starting to pull the gap back.
Is Dougie starting to attack Dylan now? Okay, drive-through penalty for Tyson McAvoy for contact on lap 19. So, obviously, Tyson called it out, so he didn't think he was at fault, but we've seen time and time at the end, mate, that, you know, you're in the car, it can completely look like something different to when you have a look at the replay and go, oh, hang on, maybe I made a mistake there.
Yeah, well, that's right. I mean, it's just one of those things, isn't it? Like, you see it, you call it.
And the one that Tyler Sheep called out, race control just noticed no further action on that.
That was a rejoin I think he was talking about, so yeah. There's Tyson McAvoy and Greg Johnson on screen, but yeah, that battle's right here, the top 4. The top 4 is too hard to take your eyes off his action. Matty Gerard on the back of Mark Cochrane is chasing down Doug Gowans and Dylan DeBono. Now this is going to be a cracker to the finish, mate. Absolute cracker to the finish.
Well, Doug's just fallen back a little bit from Dylan, so I don't know if he made a mistake. He did a 103.7 the lap previously, so that's about a second slower than Dylan in front. And yeah, we can see here 103 flat in that last one, and Dylan did a 101.8. But not only did Doug make a little mistake, but Dylan put on a flyer. And look at that gap already.
Oh, Jake. Really sideways out there at that turn in.
Matty Gerard, he's sending it hard. Look, I love racing with Matty on a Friday night, and, you know, again, it's great to see that seems a very similar ilk to me. He's going to send it and try and drive as hard as you can, and if you make mistakes, well, you know, you make mistakes. If you try not to take someone else out, but own up for it if it happens. But driving the car hard, and one of the things to find, the only real way to find pace in these cars, or in any car, is to really sort of push yourself and drive hard. Obviously there, Matty Gerard is right on the edge of the track edge, the limit, grip. Braking, he is spinning it every corner.
Can we just highlight that Dougie Gowans is the only one in the top 7 cars that doesn't have an off-track?
Dougie Gowan is the 0X mastermind of SRW leagues. So, you know, I know that there was a few rounds ago he might have mentioned that, you know, not only that, but he had the 0X to help back him up. Like the 0X might have been the thing that helped him win the championship last year too. So it's definitely those free points for the 0X is something that Dougie keeps in mind. And he's just so super clean and fast. You know, as we said, he runs at the front of these grids, mate. But not only is he running at the front of these grids, but he's not making the mistakes and incurring 0Xs and 1Xs.
No, that's exactly right. So he's fast and he's clean, so it's really good to see that. You know, the boys behind him are just absolutely throwing it down. Like, I don't know what the incident limit is here, but Matty Gerard on 11, Mark Cochrane with 1, Dylan DeBono's end has gone to 12. Daniel Fritz behind this pack has gone to 12, so they don't have many to play with for
17,
2 minutes.
Could be 25, but yeah, we are near the end of this motor race. Little bump there. Yeah, but we've only got about a minute and a half to go of the motor race, so that was Greg Leake, I think, that's had a moment there, was it? and requested a tow.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this run from Matty Gerard. And Mark Cochran put it straight out to the right there to try and block. So Mark Cochran is driving really, really
what's going on
defensive here.
Dougie Gowans has just put the foot back down, mate, and gone to 101.8. Was he saving?
Okay, so he's charging
Was
hard.
he saving?
I think, well, remember we talked about it, buddy. I think everyone here needed to find maybe a lap or two of fuel. Oh, no, look at that. So Matty Gerard's got a pit.
Matty
So
Gerard's
this
in.
maybe shuffles the whole deck if these guys can't make it home.
Well, there's still...
Is that a white
Just on a
flag
minute.
pit? Not quite.
No, it's
we're
1
now
minute to
inside
go
a minute,
now. Yeah, so it'll be
This'll
another
be-
lap.
Yeah, one more lap after this. So does that mean Doug and Dylan can get home?
I don't know, mate. Let's listen. Let's ride on board with Dougie Gowans and listen. How hard's he pushing?
No,
Oh,
they're
he's-
rolling
he's-
out.
yeah,
of
they're
it.
rolling out hard. So
Big time, big
let's jump to
time.
Mark Cochran. What's
So
he
Mark
doing?
Cochran,
He's saying, dude, look.
yeah, he's rolling
wiggling.
out of it too.
Oh,
So
no,
these
he's gonna hit
guys,
the grass.
oh no,
Oh, no.
well, no. He's caught it.
Oh, no. Can they get home? Can
Oh,
they
Greg
get home?
Greg Johnson could be right on the. These guys might have to pit because it's gone an extra lap now. Let's see what they do. Do they
No,
pit?
they've gone on. They've gone
They're
on.
gonna keep
They're
going.
going to wing it. Will they get through to the
Oh,
finish?
right, well,
Mark Cochran's
Mark
gone in the pit.
Cochran-
He's
yeah,
gone.
Mark couldn't make it, so he's had to go. So it's
Daniel Fritz now
Daniel
up onto
Fritz
the
up.
podium.
can Fritzy make it home, or does he need to pit as well?
Let's listen
He's
to
still
these
going
cars.
around.
Let's
Greg
listen.
Johnson, he's an outside chance here too. 7 seconds back. Look to see if he can run hard. Look at Dylan. These guys are both cruising, just trying to eke the car.
They've done
home.
106s. 106.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh,
Look at the
Gowans.
field.
Uh-oh. Oh,
Oh,
listen,
mate,
listen. The car will tell us a story.
Oh, they just need to get to the downhill, and then they've got enough to get
no,
up.
but that's an
Look
uphill.
at it.
Where's Fritzy?
Shout out, Fritzy's right in on this.
Fritzy, can he pick the pockets?
Fritzy, can he do it? Can he do it? They're going to try and block the track. Can Fritzy get through for a win? Come on, Fritzy.
Oh, he's on the brakes. He was on the brakes. What was going on?
Why did he get on the brakes?
I don't know, but he was on the brakes. Fritzy was on the brakes. Maybe he's out as well. Maybe he had just enough to get there and it was just... I don't know what was going on there, but yeah, he was on the brakes and coming through that last corner. Let's rewind that. And we'll jump on to TV3. All right. So yeah, there you go. 1, 2, 3. So
Okay.
yeah, okay. I mean, look,
Did he slow that down? Didn't want to take it off him.
I don't know what was going on there, but hey, I mean, Fritzy with a good little moment there. But you know, that was awesome, mate.
Well, so Fritzy's not he's not a velocity. He's a Whitey Pies whiskey runner, I should say. But him and Tyler Sheep have been working closely with Doug and Dylan and Matty for practice. So
The race I
maybe
wanted
it's
to
a
win.
pseudo
Yeah,
one.
exactly. Exactly.
Well, it's certainly been an exciting opening to tonight's doubleheader. The TCRs have lit it up with the sprint round here at Oulton Park. We will have to quickly go through the interviews because we've got a doubleheader of F3s at Fuji International Speedway coming up after this as well. But there we have it, Dylan De Bono coming away with the win in race number 2 ahead of his teammate Doug Gowans, Daniel Fritz for the Whiskey Runners putting it P3 and maybe could have stolen the victory there. We're going to have to ask him about that. Greg Johnson with a great P4. Tyler Sheep P5. Matty Gerard P6. That's a pretty good recovery from Matty Gerard as well. Up 5 positions from his starting position on the grid. But yeah, Greg Johnson P4. He'd be pretty stoked with that. And there's Fritzy in the room. So let's bring Fritzy down and then have a chat to him and find out really what happened. So, Fritzy, whoops. There you are, Fritzy. We got you in here now, buddy. So, why did you get out of it at the end? What was the idea of the photo finish? You could have won that.
Could have won it, but I think the photo finish triple formation was a lot better than me.
They had the save all the way home, buddy. They were on vapors. You could have taken
Hold on. Can we just look at the stream for a minute?
If you watch me on the cool down lap, I also coughed going up the hill.
Okay, fair enough.
On the last lap. So if we hadn't have made it back around, you get a rear grid for next week.
Yeah.
So
Fritzy, we've saved it.
Can I just ask? I've just noticed on the screen it says Velocity Sim Labs. Is there a little something in that?
Yeah, I made a mistake and forgot to change it after one of the other leagues that use SDK. So, yeah, as of next season, I'll be a Velocity Sim Labs racer.
So that's why the formation.
Okay, so now we get the underlying message, mate. Well done on P3 tonight, by the way.
Yeah, it's nice to get back to back.
All right, well, you better let us know the Whiskey Runner sponsors before you leave them. We can't chat too long, unfortunately, buddy. We've got the F3s coming up, but well done on your P3, mate, and then take it away.
Yeah, just thank Old House Painting again for putting this magnificent livery on my bonnet, and Chris Bleakley from 19 for putting the livery together. And yeah, cheers for the conversation, boys.
Awesome, buddy. Well done tonight, mate. And it looked pretty fun around there, Oulton Park, very tight and narrow. And you had to fight pretty much the whole 50 minutes tonight in both races.
Yeah, it was nice and tight. And I love the fuel-saving races because it brings strategy in, and it's not just an all-out dogfight because I don't have the time to practice to be as quick as some of the other boys.
No worries. Well done, buddy. And we'll see you in the final round next week, buddy.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Talk to you later.
Alrighty, so let's bring Doug into the room. Doug, eventful race there. Did Dylan let you through at the start of that race, number one, or was he trying to say he had a poor start?
No, I actually got a really good start. And I think Dylan got a pretty poor start. But then after that, it was follow the team. I wanted to secure the team's championship, and Dylan done brilliantly to be my rear gunner.
He should have 20-point advantage. So you think that those 1-2s tonight are going to be enough to, make it unassailable for the last round?
Well, I hope so. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't know what the case is with drop rounds, but we'll see how it all plays out. But yeah, I mean, we couldn't have done any better than what we did tonight.
Awesome, buddy. Well, what we'll do is we might bring Dylan down into the room as well.
Absolutely.
We have to be fairly quick tonight with the F3s coming up, and it's a double header, so we have very little time to chat to you boys.
Dougie's got to get over there anyway, mate. So
I know.
we got to wrap this up.
Well, Dylan, so Dougie tells us that no, he just got a better start than you. You didn't let him through it and drive shotgun in race one. So at the end there, though, it was all about fuel saving and coasting your way. And what you had Daniel Fritzy in your pocket, I hear. We thought he was going to take the W.
Yeah, look, I mean, as you know, we've been working with Fritzy for quite a while, and he's been a really valuable part of our preparation each week. So, yeah, great to see him get up on the podium.
Awesome. And Dylan, you enjoyed that racing tonight, man? You had to battle your way through the field a couple of times.
Yeah, obviously the first race wasn't very good, but I guess that will get sorted out with the admin, I'm sure. But yeah, it's never good to race like that.
Well, boys, who wants to let us know about the sponsors, and then we better let you guys move on. Let Dougie go and jump in the F3s and see if he can have a go at the podium too. So does that mean Dylan's going to read it out, Dougie?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I'm busy doing other things. Dylan, you go for it, mate.
No worries. First, just thanks to Pedders Velocity Sim Lab. You know, without those boys, Tyler, Fritzy, Matty, Gerard, Doug as well. You know, none of this success would happen. And yeah, you guys, I guess, for putting on the stream.
Well, again, buddy, well done. Great racing tonight, mate. We know that you hard. How'd you go on the weekend? You had a real real world race meet on the weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Finished up P4 for the round with some pretty competitive people from other states coming down to race,
awesome,
and finished P4. So that's always good. Preparation is in for Bathurst now.
Awesome, buddy. Well done in the real world and in the sim racing world here. Congratulations to Dylan DeBono, our top finisher tonight. All right, guys, we're going to have to go to a quick short break while we get the F3s loaded and ready for you. It is Fuji International Speedway. It is going to be round 2 of our F3 league F1 league within a league as well. So not only is it round 9 for the F3s, but it's round 2 of the F1 mirrored season. So we will see you soon here at SRW TV. Hope you're enjoying the action. Welcome back, sim racing fans, to SRW TV. We have seen the TCRs at Oulton Park. It's now time for round 9 of our F3 series here at SRW TV, and it is Fuji International Speedway. Not only is it round 9 of our series, the penultimate round, but it's also round 2 of our season within a season where we follow the F1 tracks. So this week is the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So we've picked Fuji as close a like for like track-wise as we could find, and the F3. So this is the season within a season, Rob, and it's going to be awesome, buddy. And of course, this is a double header tonight here at SRW TV. So it's sprint round action again for the F3s as well. So we've seen how fast and how condensed that mid-pack is, buddy. And the moment you start throwing the quick guys back behind those mid-pack runners, it's going to be, it's going to be exciting. It's mouth-watering stuff, buddy. Look, and even, Fritzy, he said he loves those races where fuel comes into the equation, and sometimes it's awesome to see the different way people play out those strategies. Unfortunately, in the V8s, we've got to deal with the Fishy Motorsports guys, and they are absolute wizards at fuel saving. So, but F3 action here now. We're a couple of minutes into, about 3.5 minutes into quali, and more importantly is we're probably now at the stage where we're going to see these guys start to lighten up the times as the tyres are now up to temp. So what do we got? 35 flat for Daniel Byrne, 35.5 for David Gallo, 35.52 for Scotty Bargent. So already a few of the guys into the 35s, but again, he's the man to keep an eye on. The reason you've got to keep an eye on him in quali, Rob, is that he ends up in the front in the race and clears the action, so we don't ever watch him. Well, he has 185-point advantage going into the penultimate round. So I think it's safe to say we're on board with our Season 1 champion for SRW 2023. Mind you, we've got this F1 season within a season running. So, I think Phil took out the victory in the first one of them, so he's off to a pretty good start. But it's, I'm loving the concept. So with that F1 season is going to run all year, and it's going to cross into multiple regular seasons of SRW. 33.8.
Donked that lap down. And Daniel Byrne has immediately followed him almost there. So
that's what I thought, mate. Those 35s was still the warm-up laps. These guys are now starting their business.
And I just realised my mic wasn't on the whole intro there, mate. So good job, Mr. Producer Man. So welcome everybody to the F3 series.
and listen to your responses, and the viewers out there going, you listen to the dead air or not?
What's this Cowy bloke talking to? Like, is he alright? Does he need some medication or something? Oh, sorry, mate. I just threw you under the bus there.
You did. That's alright. I'll forgive you. I think one of the concepts of being a commentator here at SRW is going to be prepared to take it. The boys give it. I think I was actually happy last night was the first briefing by race control where I didn't get called out personally, so for a while, no.
So Steven Sinkovic here might just give himself a decent lap. He's actually gone green sectors everywhere.
Yeah. He's done a 36.8 there, so he's taken a couple of seconds out of his PB from before there, so starting to find his mojo. I know Stephen, he's one of those guys, he's wearing so many hats with his regular job and then these owner and admin duties here at SRW, and then trying to find time to race. I know last night we tried to, Monday night we tried to drag him in a bit of practice for the V8 supercars and he missed that, so he had to jump in and drive cold last night, and it's probably more of the same for him tonight. So I think Stephen just wants to make sure he doesn't take out anyone else, and I think half the time he doesn't want to qualify too high because he ends up right in the thick of it.
Yeah, Daniel Byrne now is just away. It's good. So, Mark Cochran's in there. Is someone commentating with you? Can't hear anyone after I already made my statement. And then I think it's Matty Keane comes in and goes, because Cowy talks too much. So, in other words, shut up, Cowy.
I get paid to talk too much. Apparently, isn't that what I'm getting paid to do? Hey, look. It's all good about talking, and yeah, the boys just congratulating Dylan for the fuel saving in there, and he's saying his arms are a bit sore, but that was after his real life race meet on the weekend. P4 there, he said, so yeah, congrats Dylan. Daniel Byrne, the driver, 808 here. He's, what is that?
Oh, Phil Vella.
400ths of a second is off Phil Vella. Phil's picked up a purple. Daniel's got an orange and a green. Look, Fuji, mate, this is such an awesome track. Like, even the V8 supercars, I absolutely love driving here because it's one of those tracks where you can take multiple lines at several corners. You can, the toe comes into play.
Yeah, this front straight.
Big heavy braking zones. So, there's multiple opportunities where you can have a go. And there's also places where you can run defensive lines as well and make it a bit harder, but not impossible.
Michael Cottager is about to light it up.
34-1, so people.
Oh, no, 33-9-2. Oh, he just slopped between Phil Vella and Daniel Byrne with that lap. That is a mega lap. Michael Cottager, take a bow. That's fantastic.
It's 200ths of a second over Daniel Byrne at the moment. So
crazy, isn't it?
These are these times, so it's 1/10, what's that? It's that 1600ths from Phil to Michael, 200ths from Michael to Daniel, 1400ths from Daniel to Adrian, 1200ths from Greg to Adrian to Greg, 700ths from Greg to Andrew, 100ths from Andrew to Scotty. There you go. So look, the first 7-8 positions, the gaps I was talking about is like a 10th or under.
Sinkovic, what can he do? He's all greens at this point.
Greens.
It's all greens. Can he get in there? He goes up.
So he's moved up ahead of Michael Felsen. So Matthew Pinata is showing in the room, but not out on track. So I'm just hoping that there's no hardware there for Matthew. I don't remember hearing if there was a rear grid.
Look at this. Scotty Barchin's getting a nice toe. He's getting a nice pull along this front straight. Can it elevate him up is the question. Has he found a compatriot who can help him out? Oh, it's green. He's up in P5.
Yeah, he's found a 10th. That toe might have helped there.
Darren
Adrian
Fahey
already. He did a 34.08 as well, so he did improve his time, but not his position. So it is still getting pretty tight there at the top. It is... Well, we look at that. We've got the top 3 in the 33s, and then down to 12th in the 34s.
Yeah,
and then the rest of the field in the 35s, and no one in the 36s.
Yeah, even Steven Sinkovic is not the 36ers, so good job there.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
He's got himself into a nice little rhythm. He's got an orange and a green now as well, so that's not too bad.
As you said, one of those tracks that is tailor-made for this sort of car. This track was built back in the 80s and, originally was sort of overtaken and was sort of built to be the home of NASCAR. So it was originally designed to be a big banked oval. but effectively they ran out of money, mate, and turned it into a racetrack when it was acquired by Toyota back in the 2000s. So just kept the same from there.
That's right. And Greg Bradley here just getting a nice exit off that last corner. Little sideways.
P6 at the moment for Greg, but he's all green, so that should improve that. He's done. Let's have a look at the time when it flashes up. .34.233, so a couple of hundreds off his PB, so couldn't quite match his best time so far.
Jay Dixon's given me a bit of insight into this tonight, and I'm a bit surprised to see him down there in P12 there right now.
Well, could have easily had a moment there on his outlap, and now he's out of sync with everyone else, and he's got to get those tyres up to temp again. So let's keep an eye on it. He's just taken another couple of tenths out of his team, 34.3, up inside the top 10 P9 for Jay Dixon at the moment. But still has probably enough time to get another lap done. We've got to keep an eye on the clock. So anyone that basically hasn't passed the line now, they only get one more lap. We're inside 3 minutes, and as we said before,
Phil Vella's
with the
all
sprint
green.
round.
No, he's just gone orange, so someone's nabbed that. Or has he just not picked it up? Might have just got a little loose there.
Orange is when you are not beating your own personal best. For sector, green is when you've got a PB sector, and purple is obviously when you put in the fastest sector of everyone.
Yeah.
All right, well, we are about 2.5 minutes from the end, so Phil Vella will get one more lap. He's timed it perfectly, so he will be looking at setting up this lap. So let's see how he goes on board here.
I love this camera angle.
There is the head
you
bouncing.
Just see the head wobble there, and I love this camera angle. This is so good. Brakes early
the track
in one.
there, but he's smooth, carrying the speed, using all the exit there.
Look at the line.
Jay Dixon with a purple sector there in the middle, so he's starting to bite his range, getting those tyres up to 10 purple and the green.
Top,
that is 33.9, so he jumps into P4, but another man into the 33s, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're going to see the good guys in the 33s, and you're going to have that real mid-pack battle again. I think we're going to be in for a treat with like 8 or 9 cars in that mid-pack.
Well, again, I'm looking at it here, and there is
flyer.
Well, I mean,
he's got in the pit. Danny, what are you doing?
We've got to go down to 13th. No, 14th is the first time that's outside a second. So 13th and above are all within a second of Phil Vella. And again,
crazy.
Phil Vella's been the benchmark all season. So if you're within a second of him, you're doing pretty good, I reckon.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you saw him just light it up. He was nowhere, and then all of a sudden he went, hey, I'm going to the top. And it's just like he just lit it up. So, I mean, we expect that with Phil. Like, he's fast. We know Jay Dixon's fast. We know, Michael Cuttajar. We know he's got
Hayter and Andrew. Yeah, Michael Cuttajar. All these boys have got great pace. We've seen the Kittens boys, have had it sort of taken to them a little bit this season. The Alpha Venturi boys, they've come on board and put in some great times. And of course the Downforce Racing duo of Phil Vella and Jay Dixon, they're the ones that have really come in and just turned everyone else on their head.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Downforce boys, I mean, there's only 2 of them, and they're fighting an army of kittens, and they've just come through and just absolutely had a crack at it. Oh, someone's gone way off there. Oh, that just got referred
so they're
to.
going to have a look. There might have been a bit impeding there in qualifying, so we'll have to see what race control's got to say from that. But here is the grid as it currently stands, and it is Phil Vella for Downforce Racing once again putting it on P1. We missed Michael Cuttajar snatching P2 there at the death as well, buddy. Daniel Byrne getting pipped by, what's that? That's 200ths of a second. Michael Carter sneaking in there. Jay Dixon for Downforce Racing P4. And then we've got Adrian Loretti P5. So 2 Kittens and 2 Downforce Racing guys up in the top 5. Scotty Barjan for Area 51 Sim Sorts. That's a great quality from Scotty. P6. Greg Bradley, the Andreg machines of Greg Bradley and Andrew Johnson on row 4. So both of those guys with some great pace out there. And then we've got David Gallo for Kittens and Adam Simpson, Fishing Motorsports, back in P10. Darren Fahey, Doug Gowan, after, podiums in the TCRs, just missing out on the top 10 in P12. And then we've got Andrew Lyden, Nathan Burney, Brad Hudson. Now, Danny, I keep butchering your name, Danny, so I'm going to let Rob say it.
Matezic.
There you go. And if I get it wrong again, Danny, I'll apologise, but I still will get it wrong, buddy, so let me just apologise now anyway. Right, Stephen Stinkovic, and we've got Michael Fowles and Matthew Pignata, the last spot on the grid. So Matty must have had a start from rear of grid penalty, or perhaps chose to do that himself.
Yeah, not sure, mate. I did hear something about a rear of grid start, so it must have been something from last week.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to have a look at the race control report to see if there was something up there. Okay, we did have a rear at grid because they didn't make the tow zone last week. That was 909, 445 and 33. All right, here come the lights. This is round 9 of our F3s here at Fuji International Speedway, and it's a good start from the entire field. Michael Cuttajar, he got just a little bit better launch than Phil. Can he sneak up the inside? Phil looking to try and really set up the exit.
Is that Jay Dixon?
In the rear there. I think that was... Who was that? Scott has made contact.
That was a whole heap of boys, mate.
Oh, there's a few. Adrian Loretti got caught up in that as well.
There's David Gallo.
Doug Gowans, Andrew Johnston.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So we'll have to see if that brings out a safety car. At the moment, no word from race control, but there's big puffs of dust and everything there. And look, in the process, Michael Cuttajar, as I said, he got a great launch and able to put a P1 at the moment. Phil Vella right behind him now. One of the things that we have seen from Michael is he drives the car hard, and he's run out of tyres a few races, so we'll have to see if he adjusts his driving style tonight, buddy, and try to eke out a bit more. Though being a sprint round, isn't it just send it on sprint round, isn't it?
I mean, your first one is all just about getting, lights to flag, mate, and then the second one's all about strategy, so we'll have to see whether the boys can get out there. But Jay Dixon and Daniel Byrne here, they're really right on the back of this battle, so this is going to be fantastic up the front. But this is what we called. We called the 4 of them early, and then back out towards the mid-pack. But
look at this, a big beneficiary of the incident that happened. Adam Simpson up 5 spots at the moment.
Phil Vella's just taking the lead, mate. Phil Vella's just gone up the inside.
Got inside, yeah, beautiful.
Right, let's have a look at what happened here with David Gallo and see just what went on in the back scenes here. So David Gallo there, the number 11, right in the middle of the screen, the pink car. So just watching on board. So that's Dougie Gowan's gone to the far left. They're going 4 wide. So
Doug's gone a massive dive down the bottom, and he's locked it up.
Bang.
Yeah, he's locked it up, and he's collected Scotty Barge. And Scotty's been pretty unlucky here. So, it looks like, Doug Gowan has been given a black flag for that moment. So
that's what created all that ruckus in the back scenes, mate. Yeah. So, back to live action.
Unfortunately, it looks like Scotty Barge and Doug and Adrian, they've all had to pit to restore the car. Now, I'm just wondering, on a sprint round, I think they only get 1 fast repair, so they've now got to try and keep these cars clean for a race and a half, almost 2 races.
Yeah, so that's rough, mate, isn't it? That's going to be very hard to do.
Well, again, Fuji is one of those tracks that's got open spaces and runoffs, so I don't know if we'll see a safety car here tonight, even though we are talking about the car that breaks when you look at it funny.
Tyson McAvoy says, I'm coming. Okay. Righto, Tyson. We're riding on board there with Andrew Lydon. He's just on the back here, but David Gallo and Adam Simpson are having an absolute cracking battle here too, right in the mid-pack. This is where we see a lot of battles each week, Cowy.
Jay's got past Michael as well, so did we miss that move as well? I mean, we're seeing the advantage of the toe down the straight. That
Okay,
Phil
Nixon.
to get the spot done. Yeah, so it looks like this
Look
is
at the
a game
gap Phil's
done
already
down.
built though. Look at the gap. See, that's just that draft.
Yeah.
That's just that down the front straight draft. So he's done it well. Nice and clean. Michael's just...
Well, I don't think Michael really had any say in
He
it.
didn't
there.
really have a choice, did he? He's
He
just
could
like,
have
yep.
maybe tried to break deep, but in the end, all you can really do in this equation is, try and get a really good run. Hope that the car that's past you was, narrowed his angle a bit, so he's going to have a bit less speed on the exit. So maybe you can do that over/under move.
Look who it is, Cowy.
Jay looks like he's consolidated that now, and he's already Phil. Is that?
That's Matthew Pinata, mate, up 8 spots from the rear.
All right, so he's managed to stay clear of that madness at the back there as well. And he is our biggest mover so far. Had to that rear again because he couldn't make it round to the toe zone last round. That did end up being a big fuel save finish to that race last week. But Daniel Byrne now P4 at the moment, so he's got a couple of seconds. Oh, he's getting close. Closing in on Michael Cuttajar. But it looks like Michael's staying with Jay Dixon. But the problem here is really that Jay can just run cover for Phil. Not that he really needs to, buddy, but...
Matthew Pinata just slice up inside Andrew Lydon then. We will jump on board with Matthew Pinata and the sequence here on the back of Nathan Verney and Darren Fahey. The 2 more kittens. So we'll have to see if we can get through.
Look, we know Matty's got pace, and he's been a regular in the podiums here for the F3s in SRW, but having to show his true pace battle through the field here. But I suppose if there is a track where you want to start at the back, it is a track like Fuji. Can get the moves done.
Absolutely. You know it's going to be helter-skelter off the front, and you're always going to have something collide into turn 1. It's just inevitable at Fuji. I think it's almost predictable that you're going to have that issue at turn 1. And I think that's what we saw. Everyone got a little bit keen and a little bit over-eager, and that's what we get, so...
Awesome. Well, he's certainly driving on the edge here, and it is a hard skill in these cars to throw it around, because you're really trusting that grip. And, when you drive a V8 supercar, you don't trust anything.
Yeah, no, these cars, they're definitely designed for high speed and grip, and we see there's David Gallo on the back of Adam Simpson here. And he's
closing it in under brakes. Little puff there from Adam, so he was right on the edge of his limited grip as well. But David now looking to apply the pressure. Coming through the S here. Oh, look at that.
There's Greg Bradley right behind him too, so this is going to be our feature. This is going to be the build-up to our feature, because our top 10 right now is Nathan Verney, right there, right behind Matthew Pinata, so definitely something to look for.
I think you might have just hit the nail on the head. That's what Matthew was mainly concerned about. Get inside the top 10. That's my job this race. Get inside the top 10.
100%.
But now he finds himself P9, and he still can see cars in front of him, so I think he's going to keep pressing forward and try and get as much as he can. Now, the championship, well, I did mention it briefly before, but it is Phil Vella with a massive lead. He has a 185-point lead over Matthew Pinata in P2.
Adam Simpson.
No, Adam Simpson. What happened there?
Right, let's get a quick replay
Was
and
that
see what he's done.
assisted, or has he just lost the rear
he's got
himself?
it on his
It's
own.
all self.
He's
Tried to carry a little bit too much speed, and the rear's gone. And that's that switchback, yep. And you can see,
No,
he held
it's
it
just,
there.
it's just going to run out wide here, I reckon.
Just gone too
out
deep
wide
here,
and
caught a bit of
just-
grass, maybe.
No,
Yeah.
just lost the rotation, so... Oh, look at what he's right there.
Oh,
it was,
and he's
and there's-
reversed out of it. Yeah,
There's
he's
Matthew
done well
Pinata
there to
right
clear.
there too, so...
But Adam's done well there to clear the corner, clear the apex. And now he'll have to fight, but he's got P10 ahead of him, so it's not over for Adam Simpson just
got
yet.
Brad Hudson P11 in front of him, so. But,
Yeah,
Brad
but
Hudson
P10's
right
within
there.
range. Oh, look at this, up the inside, Adam Simpson. That is Bradley Hudson, the JWM machine. And Bradley's had a bit of an up and down season, but he has showed pace at times, and he, more importantly, he's just showed a propensity to battle like this. And this is awesome stuff. Too wide.
This is great.
Come down to the big heavy braking zone. And you can see, looking up the inside, Adam Simpson. And this is one of those hard corners. Super hard, the V8, but they've both gone through there brilliantly. And Brad's just holding a nice line here. Adam got a run at him then, but couldn't get around him.
This where Adam lost it just before, so
Oh no, Michael Felsen has had a moment, has he?
looks like it, yeah.
How's Danny
So Adam's
Matesic
gonna
going?
get the
He's
run
in
here.
P14 at the moment, Danny. So he's
15.
about 4 or 5 seconds off the back of this.
He just lost another spot to Michael Felsen.
Ah, he did.
Look at the run,
He's
look at the
100,
run.
Danny. Look at the run from Adam
Nice.
Simpson. That is a big toe. But is it one where you can get back in the toe and maybe get it a bit back? Yeah, it is. Look at that. Brad Hudson was able to catch back in again. Brad with the better line, he'll be able to carry more speed. But Adam uses all that exit and smoothly gets the job done. So nice move from the Piranha. The sole Piranha out there tonight, buddy.
No, there is another one, actually. Almost certain I saw another fishy out there tonight.
I know we've
Is it
seen
Andrew
Blake
Johnson?
Delaney in one of the
Who's
rounds.
Andrew
Andrew Johnson. No, he's an Andrew machine. That's not a
Oh,
fishy
that's
motorsport machine.
No, well then, yeah, it would be.
It generally is. Adam is our lone Piranha here representing the Fishy Motorsports boys. I know we did see one or two of them come through, but the big issue is that there's a few of those boys that have made it and qualified for the Logitech Pro Invitational V8 series.
Yes.
And so they're all helping. There's I think it's 3 or 4 fishy cars in that event, so that means there's at least 6 or 7 of them spotting and
So what do you
helping
reckon,
out as
Cowy?
well.
Can David Gallo get the run here? Can he give Matthew Pinata the run? Someone just went pit lane there? I'm not sure. Thought it
That
looked like someone
might-
was pit lane.
Was it Doug serving his penalty maybe?
Sure, no one's in pit lane.
Okay, no one's there.
So the gap for the run really is just under 0.9 of a second. Because we didn't see Matthew Pinata make any gapping at all down that straight. So anything
So
under
he'll
about
be
0.9
inside
you
that
can't make
0.9.
it. Yeah.
Well, I think maybe that David had the toe from Greg in front as well, so he had a and he was far enough back that, because we do see sometimes that when there's 2 cars in front of you, you can actually get a bit of a double toe. But I think maybe Greg was far enough ahead that he gave David toe without giving Matty the double toe.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can still see that Pinata is closing in. That gap is reducing by a 1/10 every few corners, so he's definitely showing some pace here. And David Gallo maybe getting held up a little bit by Greg Bradley, and then once you start to get close to the car in front, buddy, then you've got to deal with that sort of that wash off the car that affects your front aero. Makes it harder to turn in.
Yeah, 100% with these cars especially, but we see the guys are really good with it, Matthew Pinata and Phil Vella. They're used to it, they know where to push the car and where not to, so we'll see if Pinata can get a nice exit here. I think he might be in the draft now for sure. He's 0.62 behind Dave Gallo, so I definitely think this will be a draft effect for sure.
But Dave's got the draft as well, so this will be interesting to see if Matty can
He's
climb.
pulling it in,
It
eh?
did look like David tried to sort of slingshot the car there and get a better run, but Matty has been able to close in a 10th or 2, so it's going to be on for young and old maybe next lap. But he's had a little big deep set and it's contact, no! Oh,
Oh no.
now there's... Oh no! And that's kitten on kitten there!
What's happened there?
Oh, that was grass related there, but that's a massive moment.
Some Darren Fahey, mate, by the look at that. What's going on here? Darren Fahey on the...
Oh, no,
no.
so he's at grass.
Oh, Matthew
So who
Pinata.
was that?
How
That
did
was,
he get through that?
he got through it. So who was that that
Let's-
actually got out on the grass? Was that David Gallo, was it?
Might be David Gallo, yeah. Let's just
Down
have a
on the
look at
grass.
what happened here with Matthew
I think, Matty
Pinata.
just I think he just closed heavily under brakes. Maybe he couldn't get the car pulled up in time.
Well, let's just have
But
a look.
race
And
control is looking into it at the moment.
so he's shaped early. He's just followed his line. Look, he's just followed his line in there and just... Oh,
Well, unfortunately,
that's a bit rough.
he's
that
sort
one.
of the one that probably made contact there. But we'll have to see if race control has got anything to say about that. There's been a bit of controversy tonight, boys. The boys are driving hard, and there's a few sheep stations out in this racing tonight, buddy.
Anyone would think we're only like 2 rounds left of the season, mate.
You would think so, wouldn't you?
I mean, these boys, they're not playing very nice at the moment. The gloves have come off and they're swinging. So it's,
The racing has been hard and fast by these guys all season. So, you know, I think, you know, sometimes we look at it and we think maybe there's a bit of angst there, but it maybe is more just that to compete, you've got to drive the car so close to the edge that the mistake is only a heartbeat away. Because
Well,
I'll
that's
tell you now,
exactly
that's where I'm trying to push myself with my own driving this season, and I've found several times that I've been right on the edge of that. If I make any tiny little error here, I'm gone. You know, because you're pushing so hard. And we do see that from time to time, you know, I mean, and these guys, you know, at a track like Fuji, where you're trying to use all of those lines and get a run, you can take multiple lines, so sometimes that can bring your undoing, buddy.
oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%, mate. We see it week in and week out. You know, they just push too hard.
Okay, so Matthew Pinata has been given a drive-through penalty for that contact there, so, you know, again, it was a bit of a late dive, so whether or not he couldn't get the car stopped, but race control has, you know, come down with the red hot hammer of the law once again, buddy.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've been in the action tonight just as much as the racers, I think. Like, they've certainly had to swing it, but Matthew Pinata with a long trudge down pit lane. This is painful. This is going to hurt.
With putting back outside that
3
top
minutes.
10, mate. And
3 minutes.
Yeah, not a lot of time left. 3.5 minutes or so left of this motor race.
Although,
I mean, again, Phil Vella, well, I did say we had to keep an eye on him during quali because he's checked out at the front. Got a 2.4 second lead over his teammate Jay Dixon. And as a result, we just don't end up with him on the cameras.
so Matthew Pinata, P13 now.
Yeah, 3 seconds behind Danny, who is 7 seconds behind David, who is 6 seconds behind Nathan. So there's a lot of seconds there to catch up in a couple of laps. So I think Matthew's going to be working hard in race number 2 by the looks of it too.
But again, we've got a fuel stop in there, so it depends on how he plays his strategy. You might be able to get in early, undercut, get out. Safety cars, we know, play a big advantage, especially in the F3 race. We'll just have to see how it plays out from Matthew at feature time. But it looks like the boys have got it settled.
You hear that tyre squeal from Nathan Burney there as he was right on the edge of the limit, and that was close to skipping out on him then.
You definitely don't want to be hitting curbs in these cars because they do not respond to curb strikes very well.
I think you'll find the curbs here, apart from the big yellow ones, they're not super aggressive. But this is one of those spots where you run wide and you hit those yellow ones on the outside there, and they will hurt the car. And again, you know, these high downforce machines, well, the undercarriage of the car, even without Venturi tunnels and the modern F1 ground effect stuff, but even without that, the floor still plays a massive part under that airflow under the car and for the level of grip that you've got.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Cuttajar, he's looking real pacey now on the back of Jay Dixon. He's already bridged that gap to him, which has allowed Phil Vella to jump to this man because he's gone again. He's just... See you, boys. There they are. There
Well, we
in the
told
background.
him that the only way we're going to give him some more airtime for his car is if he starts from the back.
Starts
you
from the
know.
rear, yeah. But no, I mean, Phil Vella's just been leaving his own. But Michael Cuttajar here is not going to go down without a fight with Jay Dixon.
And you know, Michael, again, I was going to say before, he sort of tends to chew through his tyres. And I think maybe this time he saved them enough that he can push hard, because it looks like Jay might have been the one who's chewed up tyres. And you can see immediately Jay trying to get over to the edge and maybe, you know, break the toe, a little bit of a shimmy there. Michael Cuttajar, is this Barney waving the white flag? Keep an eye out.
Yes,
He
it
is.
is.
This is his white flag lap. So, one lap to get it done, Michael.
What does he do? And he's got Daniel Byrne right behind him as well. So if he makes a mistake
it's
now,
close. It is, mate. Will we see any testicular fortitude here, do you think, mate?
oh no, I don't think so. I think this will be a nice cruisy run to the
Too
finish,
far
but I don't think he'll
He's
push
closed
now.
it down, but Jay's still got like a 0.9
He's
of a
got a
gap at the
second
moment.
there.
And we've seen that that's about, you've got to be inside that to get the toe. So he'd ideally like to halve that distance now, but Phil Vella, well, he's got it out to 4.1 seconds now. Is he going to try and set the lap record on the last lap for you, Rob?
He seems to do it just so he can come in and just wind me up with it. So, Phil, if you've got the stream on, I'd appreciate a fast lap on the last lap here, mate, just so you can rub it in.
There coming out of the thing. There's a bit of a slide there coming out of the little chicane. So, and you can see there, he is trying hard, mate. He is pushing hard.
He's probably thinking, I'm going to go in there and wind up, Rob. I'm going to tell him I set the best lap again.
0.7 between Michael and Jay at the moment too, so keeping an eye on that as well. Looks like Michael's trying to close the distance in, but is he close enough yet? I don't know, but it is going to be Phil Vella, our series leader and pretty much crown champion already, is going to run away with another
And it looks like
victory.
it's a DFR 1-2, mate, because Michael Cuttajar just can't quite get there.
Yeah, needed another lap or two, I think, of that toe. So great drive from Jay Dixon, and that was, remember in qualifying, Jay was sitting well in the mid-pack until he finally pulled out a good lap and got it to P4 on the grid. So he was only a hairbreadth from having to battle through the middle.
Matthew Pinata, right here on the back of Denny Matezic. This is for 12th and 13th, so can he get a good exit here and get the run down the straight to make this pass?
I don't think
I
he's
think
close
he
enough.
can. I think he's P13,
he's
mate.
not
I think
close
he's...
Well,
he's
again,
not
as
gonna
we
get it.
said, as far as Matty's concerned, I think P13, P12 are the same thing. He was looking at P10 to get up the front of the grid for race number 2. But that is not going to be the case, so he will have to battle his way through the pack once again.
Yeah, Mr. Sinkovich here on screen. He comes around to take his checkered flag for the first part of this doubleheader.
P17 from Stephen, so he's finished where he started. But more importantly, Stephen, is we didn't see any big Spinovic moments on the camera, so maybe starting to get the hang of these cars.
Was that a Mr. McAvoy? Is that a Tyson McAvoy I see in for a feature?
Yeah, I think he jumped. Well, he did put a comment saying, I'm coming. He's jumping in, so maybe he didn't quite make the grid for race number 1.
Maybe not, yeah.
So he can jump in maybe race number 2.
All right, well,
But,
there's our results.
there are the results of our Hurst race tonight. 5-minute warm-up coming, so it is Phil Vella beating his teammate Jay Dixon. The Downforce Racing 1 and 2 once again. Michael Cuttajar with a great race there and pushing hard at the end to put it P3. Daniel Byrne, the first of the Kittens Motorsports. Kittens Racing Machines in P4 with a pretty good race there. And Greg Bradley over the Andreg, he had a really good drive. And Greg's been one of those guys that's been super strong for the last few weeks and always finding himself near the front. Adam Simpson with a great recovery there, P6, after getting involved in that incident there at the start. Brad Hudson, another one of the JWM machines, the first of the JWM machines, up into P7. Darren Fahey, P8 for Kittens. Andrew Johnson, P9. And Nathan Birdie rounding out the top 10. And we'll start on pole for race number 2.
Yeah, Cowy. I mean, that's just going to mix that 10 right up, isn't it? So that's going to be fantastic. That's going to make a lot of noise in that mid pack again that we just saw early on. So yeah, can't wait.
It's one of those tracks that is inducive to great racing. I've always felt like Fuji is one of my favourite tracks on the whole iRacing service, and because it's just one of those tracks where everyone is in the hunt.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, everyone's there to have a go. Let's I see Phil Vella in there. Let's drag Phil in. Phil Vella, mate, front to go again. What's going on with these wins? It's coming too easy.
Yeah, it didn't feel too easy. I didn't feel like I could drop the rest of them for the first few laps, to be honest. I saw Jay at like 1.5 just looming for a long time. He had great pace.
Yeah, right. How was your race? How was the setup? You going to make any changes during this little window?
No, this one's a
Oh,
fixed
it's all
setup.
fixed. That's
but
right. Yeah.
I was going to give you a chance to correct yourself there, Rob.
Oh, well, we've had opens and fixed, and so it's hard to keep a track of which one's which.
I think the boys might have reminded you last week about that too in the chat, and you went, "Oh yeah, okay, I'll keep that in mind." Anyway, let's not give Rob crap. We're here to talk with Phil. Phil, mate,
we can change brake bias, and that certainly does change things. But I think pushing it rearward here is good for 1 or 2 laps, but then the tyres really fall off.
Yeah, fan of Fuji, mate. I've always felt that this is a track that really sort of offers a lot. It gives you opportunities. It's got the draft. It's got those heavy braking zones. It's got the chicanes. Is this a favourite, mate, or is this a struggle?
It's actually quite a challenging track. The last sector is hard, and it's hard to kind of maintain consistency through there, and it puts a lot of heat into the tyres. As well as, I think, turn 3 and 4 on cold tyres, if you try to go flat there, it's almost instant death. The car just goes away from you. And turn 5 is just a really odd turn. It's this super early apex where you just have to maximise the drive on the way out and not hit that red curb on the outside. Just there's a gutter there or something. The car really tramlines through there.
Well, we did see you boys making sure you avoided the big yellow sausage curves because they're probably death around here in an F3.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're gonna have a bad day if you hit those yellow curbs. It doesn't have the clearance for them, and you'll absolutely ruin the bottom of the car if you hit them with any kind of considerable force. You can tip them a bit, but yeah, don't drive over them.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll give you a quick chance to mention your sponsors once again. Then we'd better let you go because you've probably only got a minute or so to get yourself ready for race number 2, buddy. So take it away.
Yeah, big thanks to Downforce Racing and the team, and yeah, I better get back into it, guys. My timer's going off. Cheers.
Stay here, Phil. All right, let's
So
get
is he
Phil
going to
back
make
out
it to
there.
the grid? Well,
Or he'll make it to the grid, mate. No issues. He'll be right.
well, buddy, it's been an exciting night tonight. There's been a fair bit happening on track, a fair bit behind the scenes. It's passion, mate. Passion in sim racing. It's awesome to see.
Isn't it? I mean, it's who would have thought it's sim racing, mate? I mean, the passion that we're seeing is equivalent to real world stuff tonight. So it's been great. I mean, honestly, it's been fantastic to see the people getting involved. So yeah, I mean, let's see what round 2 or heat 2 can hold for us, which will actually technically be our feature. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a cracker for this one as well.
Well, man, we have reverse top 10 coming our way, so that it always speaks. I don't know if it speaks the word disaster, but it definitely spells excitement.
Well, let's get the grid up. There we have it. So Nathan Verney out of the pocket here, really. So
yeah, you keep reading, buddy. You're calling
sorry,
them out.
I was just hearing. No, I was hearing race control going off. So yeah, no. So yeah, Nathan Verney and Andrew Johnson off the front row. Darren Fahey, Brad Hudson off row 2, Andrew Simpson and Greg Bradley off row 3, Daniel Byrne, Michael Cuttajar off 4, and Jay Dixon and Phil Vella off row 5. So,
well,
oof. let's get into
Vella
it.
has pretty much got the championship now, so tonight is the night for him to get a bit more airtime and show us all those great moves, Phil. We, I think we'll show you until you get to the front, buddy. No.
So that'll be what,
All
end
right,
of lap 2?
And looks like Tyson has made the back of the grid as well, so he's made race number 2. So that's going to be interesting too.
Tyson's there. Awesome. So good to see
And here we
Tyson.
go, guys. This is round 9 of our F3s here at Fuji International Speedway. Race number 2, reverse top 10, and they are like big
Wow,
puff
what a
of
start.
smoke there.
Vernie got a cracker, mate, on that outside, but Andrew Johnson got a good run on the inside. He's going to get the inside run here for turn 1.
Oh, and can they avoid call? There's no contact in the beer. That was Michael Cuttajar, I think.
Was it?
Adrian Loretti spiraled
No,
back
that
there
might
a
have been
couple.
Phil Vella.
Phil
don't know.
Vella. Could have been Greg Bradley.
Oh, it might have been Greg Bradley, yeah.
Oh, well, we're going to have a look at once things settle down, but there's action plenty up the front. Big off-track and slowdown there, I think, for Bradley Hudson. So can he milk that slowdown off? As Darren Fahey's fighting through his P3 now, pushing hard.
They are absolutely digging
Adam
in here.
Simpson up into P4, so he's up a spot. Daniel Burns up 2. Scott Bargent up 6.
Look at this. Look at this up the front.
Oh, lock up there from
for
Adam Simpson, and 3 wide through the chicane. God.
Oh,
Daniel Burns somehow surviving there with some good awareness. And these
Back
boys,
in
well,
there,
we
mate.
did
Who's up
talk
in
about
P6?
cold tyres and sending it on cold tyres, mate.
who
And
it
these
is.
boys are living up to it. Look at that, Matthew
Matthew
Pinata.
Pinata up into P5. He's up
So
8
he's
spots
up
in 1
8
lap. Stop it.
Well, I mean, he did see a bit of carnage happening before him there. That would have given him a couple of spots, but with Adam Simpson, the big loser, he's out in 12 positions.
That was a great battle.
David Gallo down 4, Michael Cuttajar down 5, Brad Hudson down at 8. So here
That
it
is-
is here. So
It's Greg Bradley that's gone on there, so let's...
I
flip this
thought
around.
that someone made contact with the rear of Greg there.
That
So
would be
we have a
Cuttajar,
look
I
at
think.
Michael here. Yeah, so I think Michael's...
Oh.
He's got squeezed a little, so but he's made light contact with Greg. And then look at that Tyson in the
Is that
background.
DFR? That's
So
a
I don't know
DFR. That's Phil Vella in the middle, at the top.
Well, it's two kittens in there. Phil Vella's caught. He's had to avoid that. I don't know what's happened with Tyson there as he's been on the grass of contact because we can see a red car come pinballing through the middle.
Matthew Pinata, that's Doug Gowans, I think, through the middle there. That's crazy. That was another hectic start we've seen. So there's Matthew Pinata. Look at this, 2x2 in front of him. He'd be thinking, boys, what are you doing? Don't be doing that.
Mate, there is plenty happening tonight, and we're seeing Sands. Oh, Danny's had a crash as well now. No, what's happened there? We're seeing moves at the back. Adam Simpson making a pass.
Danny Montesic. Now that is that Jay Dixon?
I think that might have been Jay up alongside him, or Phil, because Phil's back in that pack there. So,
wow. Who was
so
that? That's the 7. That's Greg Bradley. Oh,
that's Greg Bradley again, and gone straight through Danny. So Danny's been turned there, no fault of his own.
there's Phil Vella now.
Phil Vella now
Gowans.
trying to charge his way through. So Doug Gowans is up 9 positions at that point too, so he's had a great launch and managed to avoid all the carnage at the start there.
Absolutely. So Jay Dixon now 2 spots in front of his teammate here, but these guys are all close, mate. Like it doesn't look like it on screen, but there's only like 1 second,
Tyson.
1 second, 1 second. It's so close.
It's like Tyson's jumped into the pits and is still there, so that might be the end of Tyson's night. He's, I think, really got a corner in of the F3s tonight.
See if we can.
Jay Dixon running P6 at the moment, so he's up 3 positions. He's had a good start, but it's Matthew Pinata up 8 in front of him. And Scott Bargent behind him, he's up 7 as well. So Scott Bargent,
Let's have a look at what happened to
unfortunately,
Tyson, mate. Let's have a look at
so here
Tyson.
we go.
He's gone in behind Stephen. Well, there's your first mistake, Tyson. Don't do that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so he's going to go up the inside here as he just broke weight too late.
He's hit the grass.
Oh. Yeah, just found himself out of room, and
Oh, and he did. He collected
taken out-
Phil.
it
He
collected
collected Phil.
collected. So I'd say Tyson's maybe self-penalising himself and deciding he won't rejoin the race.
But Phil looks like he's all right. He doesn't look like he's lost any real pace in that car, so he might have got away with that one.
Well, there'd be damage. And the problem with the F3 is the moment you take any moment of damage, it really affects your top end speed, right? So we'll have to see about his next lap to see how bad it is. But it's one of those things too. This is a 40-minute feature race. So, you know, these guys need to try and work out if they can get to that fuel window. So having a look at the fuel situation. So these guys burn about 1.5 litres a lap. They've got 23 laps of fuel in the car. And for this race, they're going to need about 43 to finish it. So they will be pitting once and pretty much filling the car. So even if you have damage at this point, it's sort of one of those things where you will try to run to that window of being able to pit and get home. So I think you're going to see these guys try to go to lap 13 and 14, and it's pretty close up here.
Hey,
Michael Cuttajar has been given a drive-through penalty for that contact.
we're on board with Jay Dixon, mate. Look who's in front of him. Phil Vella. And gone. Even with damage.
Wow.
There's Phil. he's picked his teammate and said, bye, buddy. Oh, that's him up there. So, yeah, Phil Vella's just made a...
I wonder if Jay made a little mistake, maybe?
I don't know. Jay might have, because he lost to Scotty Bargent. But, yeah, I don't know.
But
Phil Vella,
by the looks of things, you know, the way the pit window is going to be tonight for these guys is they pretty much need to put in almost a full
Jay's
tank.
entered pit lane. Wow, this is early. We saw this last week too. This is early.
Maybe he's got damage, so maybe Jay's got damage there and he needs to keep an eye on the fuel time.
Yeah, watching Jay stop
See how
and
long.
see. Yeah.
Okay,
he's
so
on the
he's
stop
now in
now.
the pit lane, so it looks like I think he's probably going to try
He's
and
out
take
4
fuel.
seconds.
Yeah, it's only 4 seconds. So the problem is that's repairing damage, I would say, because the issue is that he still will need another pit stop to get home.
Yeah, you'd think so, because we were just talking there, so they needed, what, 10 laps of fuel? So
Well,
he's
they
in
need to
before.
put around about 20 litres will need to go into the car. And if they're burning 1.5 laps per, you know, 1.5 litres per lap. So, you know, that you're talking there, what, 12 laps worth of fuel?
Yeah, that's...
13 laps worth of fuel.
And look who it is, Matthew Pinata, now up in P4, hunting the back of these cars here. You got Nathan Verdi and then 2 of the Kittens cars, so...
So Daniel Byrne and Darren Fahey have both made moves on Nathan Verdi. I wonder if Nathan had a little mistake there early.
Phil Vella's now just gotten on the back of this, so... He mustn't have too much damage from that incident with...
Is that up inside? Move up inside there
Matthew
from
Pinata.
Matthew Pinata on...
Oh, Vern.
He's got that done on Nathan
Verdi,
Byrne. That's a
yeah.
nice move, yeah. We do know that Matty is quite quick in these F3s, but the real quick man is behind him here, Phil Vella, and he's closing in on this battle.
And he's closing it fast. He
Johnson
won't,
doing a good job behind him in P6 as well.
he won't want Matthew Pinata getting away with this too much, mate.
Well, I think Phil's going to relish the battle. Oh, that was an unstable bounce there from Nathan Burney, the rear of that car. You can see that's given up a whole heap of momentum, and Phil is going to look try and get around the outside. So I will say Nathan won't give up this spot. Doesn't matter who it is. He's going to defend hard. But you can see Phil able to get the job done on the outside, the big braking zone, just to make sure he was on the inside at the chicane to do the exit. And it looks like he's got it done easily.
We'll see if he can get on the back of Matthew Pinata and the 2 Kittens boys up the front.
All right, well, this will be interesting. Kittens Racing 1 and 2. It's Alpha Venturi P3 and Downforce Racing P4. So these kitten boys have been finding themselves battling mid-pack this season. Alright, so Tyson McAvoy has been given a 20-second hold for the carnage that happened there at T1. I don't know, Tyson will be angry with himself. Look at
Andrew Lyden with the run.
That's just toe, isn't it?
That is. That's purely
Toe
just
and
a
a good
toe,
exit.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
toe and a good exit.
Oh, Simpson's going to fight back though. He's not going to give it up easy.
Yeah, he got checked a little bit there and had to give that up. But you can almost see that the straight is
Wow.
almost too long.
Nathan
straight's
Verdi's
almost
dropped
too long.
way back, mate.
So he's had another little moment there with the 137 last lap.
That's
So he's had
Pinata
an
to 3 now. And then Vela into 4. But
I'd
Vela's
say
up
Nathan's
6.
had an off, or he's had a moment because he was about 3 seconds off the pace that race, Nathan was. Phil Vela P4, Matthew Pinata up front of him. The two kittens boys will be working together, and I'm sure that they'll be talking and trying to encourage each other to hold this because they have got the two real fast guys in this league behind them. And yeah, good battle, buddy. Look at this.
Absolutely.
We are 10 minutes into our feature race here for the F3s tonight, guys. Again, it's all thanks to our major sponsor, Warren and Brown Tools. Also a big thanks to our other sponsors. We've got Fast Track Experiences, Racecraft, Sim Rigs, Grim Industries, ToyoSim, Melville Equipment Corps, and Dragon IC as well. I believe there's also a shout out to a Tempting Sweets for sponsoring our Thursday night expression sessions. It's the Drags this week, isn't it, buddy?
Yes, I think it got postponed from last week because IRSM was down, so I believe we are going to Sonoma this Thursday for the drag races.
Drag expression sessions, so it'll be interesting to see what cards are on offer for that. But here, looking at this action, and look at this, Michael Cuttajar, he's starting to try and make his way through the field. So he's pitted early and fixed that car, right? So now gets to show his pace, but a long way back, 38 seconds off the lead at the moment. So it's all there to do. And Jay Dixon also, he went in and probably used his fast repair as well. So they picked up some fuel. These guys, if there's a safety car, maybe that brings it back down to that window, but you know, in 4 or 5 seconds and 5 or 6 laps into the race, you ain't getting 20 litres into the car.
No, not at all. No, definitely not. And you wouldn't take 4 seconds of fuel, so it's going to be a little bit bigger than that, so you'd definitely be another stop there, I reckon.
Yeah, they just couldn't, there wasn't enough to get out of the...
Nathan Vernon was loose there.
Oh, he's caught it,
Oh, this is going to work for Phil.
Phil's got a run here on Matthew.
This is going to
Matty
work
go to
really.
defend. No, it's too early for me. He's moved over a little, but yeah, no. You see, the thing there, as I said, the straight's almost too long because now Matty can get back in the tow himself.
Yeah,
Bit of a lock up there from Darren Fahey, but he's caught it nicely. And Phil Vella, he's got that job done, so Matthew now will try and stick in underneath Phil and hope that he's close enough when Phil makes a move on one of the kittens in front of him.
Yeah, no, 100%. Matthew will be sitting right there and he'll be thinking, Phil just ran past me down the straight. I can do the same thing if I'm close enough. So he's got to sit there. He'll probably get the draft back down the straight. But again, that's also going to work. You were talking about that double draft before because Phil's going to have to run off Darren Fahey too. So all 4 of these boys could technically get a really good run here down the front straight.
Well, I'm sure at the moment Darren Fahey is probably running shotgun a little for Daniel Burns, so we'll have to see if that actually comes into play, because at the moment the 2 of them have just been racing hard. Good to see Doug in the top 10 from Sheepy. Hope he keeps it up. Yeah, he did get caught up in a bit of mess there early on, Doug, but he's looks like he's got clear of that, and currently running P8 up 10 positions. So that's a cracking race so far from the grandpa.
Yeah, and here we see Matthew Pinata just trying to get on the back of this. It looks like he's missed it. It looks like he hasn't gotten that exit because he is shedding that time to Phil Vella.
Phil's just fast, man. precise,
off,
and he just doesn't. He gets those exits right, and you can see that he's closing
David Gallo
in
on
on
the
the
back of
guys
Doug
in
Gallons?
front. Yeah. And David Gallo getting the toe there and getting that nice little assist. Dougie's got a nice clean car now though. That's what you want to do, keep the car clean. There's
Greg
enough
Bradley.
curbs around here to hurt it. Greg Bradley and David Gallo there, was that both using a fair bit of the curb? Might have been Nathan Burney, I apologise.
Bernie in front, yeah.
Look at these guys, they're all in the 34s, mate.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
We'll see.
Oh, Phil
Darren-
Weller's made the big move. Darren Fay's just... He left wanting,
That
I
was
think,
nice
there.
send too.
That was nice work. Let's get a replay of that. Let's have a look.
I think one of the things is too, these guys know how fast Phil is, and look at that, he's just got a great run. And I mean, Darren could have stayed down there and defended hard, but then we've seen that, you know, Phil can get the pass done around the outside. We've seen the outside work here as well as the inside, but you can see that he just got a great run. I think maybe Darren had a little bit of a snap oversteer moment or something. Had to get out of the gas, and that probably cost him.
Ken Burney, hold
Now
on.
Phil
mate.
Vella
He's on the
put
back
the
and he's
pressure.
applying that load to watch. He's pulling in time. Look at it. He's going to get the lunge at the braking zone, surely.
The guy is just quick.
Oh,
I think there might be a call from the field to maybe apply some ballast to the downforce racing machine next season, I think.
add 10% ballast to his car. But no, he's
Yeah,
just still
something
well
like
above
that.
himself, isn't he? I mean, he's like the SVG in this series. He just gets in and he knows the car so well.
Yeah, well, we saw, it was that Matty Jones sort of had a similar season, the one before, the F3s, and he was sort of the clear front runner. And, you know, we've sort of, Matty's, missed this season, and we've had Phil Vella come in and just, basically fill the same role and run away with it. So, but
It's
again,
going
it's
on
still
now.
great to see that we've got still quite a few of those alpha guys out there. We've got 5 or 6 of the kittens. We've got a bunch of JWM esports machines. We've got, a lone fishy motorsports machine out there. It's just great to see that, the teams that have joined are filling the gap, and there they can see that Phil is really, really
He squares the corner off, doesn't he? Look at that.
Yeah.
He squared that corner off so rapidly.
He may get this done too early, that he'll get past and give Daniel the toe for the second half of the straight.
No, look, he's gone way inside. He's gone, no way, buddy. Not going to happen today.
Well, Phil Vella
There's
has made his
your
way
pass to
from
the lead.
P10 on the grid back up to the front of the field, buddy. And look
And
at
let's-
this in the background, Darren Fahey and Matthew Pinata. That's on for young and as old as well.
But don't forget, Phil
Darren
was
trying to
caught
go
up in
around
that
the
lap 1 incident
outside.
too. Phil
What
was
was that,
caught
buddy? I
up.
missed that.
Phil was caught up in that lap 1 incident too. So
Well,
he was
that's
actually down to
right.
13th. He was actually down to 13th at one stage there tonight. So yeah, he's clawed his way back rather well.
And here I was thinking he had a damaged car. Well, if he's got a damaged car, he's absolutely flogging the brains off it.
And Jay Dixon here, he's back in P3.
Jay pitted earlier. To repair his cars. So, but he's running P13 at the moment. But we are getting close to that pit stop window now, buddy.
Oh,
so
yeah.
maybe 13, 14 laps these guys can, get home from, I think. So we may start to see the first of the movers. But again, when it's a track that track position is not as imperative here because you've got that big toe down the main straight. So maybe we'll see these guys be a bit more conservative, and it's more about, running longer and running the fuel down rather than, getting in and trying to undercut.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see what happens there, Cowy. We still haven't seen a safety car yet, so that's something we've got to keep in the play as well, right? There's no safety car.
Everyone's doing the smart thing and staying away from those big yellow curves, man.
Well, yeah, exactly right. Wouldn't you? I mean, wouldn't you really?
I might plead the fifth on the grounds that I might incriminate myself.
Yes, I mean, let's keep it at the fifth, shall we? Because yeah, it's definitely one of those things, mate.
Look, you know, when you're pushing harder, we can see there a little puff from Dave Gallo as he flocked a little break there. And that is just because, you know, these guys are pushing each other. And, you know, maybe we're seeing, you know, a bit of angst on track and that because everyone's driving so hard.
Yeah,
and the problem is if you don't drive hard in this league, well, you finish 20th.
Well, I mean, exactly right. Because, look, even if you're like a Steven Sinkovich, who's back there in P15 right now, like, he's still out there. He's still putting in some personal best times and stuff and doing some good things, but he's just not there, is he? Like, it's not there.
Well, Stephen is a great ambassador for sim racing, and he has that average sim racer tag probably more than myself. But it's still, you know, he comes along and he races. He doesn't have the best equipment, you know, has a decent gear, but definitely not top of the range. But his problem is, again, as he said, he just try to find the time to practice and can't do it. And we've sort of said to him maybe try and focus on one car, and he's sort of done that to a little bit extent. He's getting his head around the V8s a little bit more, but he really loves driving these cars as well, so he keeps being a glutton for punishment coming back, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about it before, and we sort of said, you know, it is hard to drive multiple cars fast. So when you see guys who can jump in, like we see Dougie Oulton, see P9, now he was quick on the TCR. He's getting his head around this F3 pretty well this season, I think. And piggybacking straight from the TCR to an F3, I mean, you couldn't really ask for a bigger jump ultimately. I mean, but you know,
we've seen a few of the F3 guys are racing in the GT3 league on Friday night. They're probably a little bit closer together, those cars, because the GTs are a bit more of a downforce car than the V8 or the TCR. But still, you know, again, it is, you know, we just have a league where there are guys in here that are just pure racers, and anything they jump in, they're quick, mate, you know.
Oh, well, that's right. You know, and we see it.
The rest of us have got to practice, mate.
we don't see it just here, though. I mean, we see it in the real world as well. You know, your likes of SVG and Waters and stuff like that, they sort of drive multiple things, and it sharpens them up.
When they're doing sprint cars over the Christmas break.
Yeah, that's right.
Sprint cars and stuff,
yeah.
Sprint cars in New Zealand. And I think Waters came and he reckoned that was really good for his driving technique, because, you know, just learning to deal with the car when it's completely out of control, as the sprint car usually is. Alright, so we're on board with Matthew Pinata at the moment, P3 at the moment, so looks like he's finally sort of broken the toe for Darren Fahey, about 1.9 seconds ahead, but that might be a little slowdown there.
I was just thinking
he's getting out of it though. Nathan Burney, P8 at the moment, and David Gallo, looks like David Gallo's got past him previously theirs, but I know Nathan, he's been enjoying the racing. He's been another one of those guys that hasn't had much luck this season. It seems when there's an incident, he gets caught out. It looks like he's letting people through. So,
what did he just? Yeah, I heard him lift in my ears. I was like, oh, what?
Has he got a high ping, mate? Maybe Nathan's been. I think a couple of weeks back he was dealing with a really high ping. So he was a bit wary about getting close to guys. At the moment, his ping looks all right. So
yeah, right.
I don't know, but Matthews and all of the road there was a bit close for those yellow curbs, the sausage curbs of doom. But we want to bring up the timing tower. We can see how far we into this race, because I think we're about 23 minutes gone of this race,
up there,
lap
mate.
16.
So
we are well over halfway. 24 minutes gone.
Pinata was just soaring on that wheel then. He didn't want to bite up for him.
Had to have a couple of goes to get it turned in. Nathan Burney's back on the rear of Doug there, so he let Doug through there before. I wonder if he had an issue maybe, and he's back battling hard. stay on board and maybe see if he attacks Doug here or not.
Well, I don't know.
Well,
It was
Nathan.
weird.
No. Nathan is also one of those guys that plays the fuel game as well and plays it quite well. But I can't see this being a race where fuel's going to come into the issue. Steven Sinkovich on the radio there he had a moment. Don't think so. So he's in the pits.
I would have just called that he was pitting in. Just giving it. Oh, Bernie. He almost wiped the back of that car. Nathan Verney. Oof. That was
maybe
great.
Nathan had to redress that position. Maybe that was what that was.
I don't know. That was weird though, wasn't it? It didn't.
Alright guys, well 25 minutes gone, we've got about 15 minutes left so far. We have not seen the promo department safety car at all tonight, and that is almost going to be a first for me here at SRW on a Wednesday night doubleheader.
Oh, we didn't see it last week. What are you talking about?
At all?
No, we didn't see a safety car
At all last week.
In there three?
At
No.
all last week? No, I thought we did.
No, not last week.
Oh, okay.
I don't believe so.
Well, there you go. So maybe 2 weeks in a row. Well, that will be definitely a first. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's never been 2 weeks in a row where I haven't seen a safety car.
But when you've got drivers of this caliber and they're putting in the way they are, like it just shows it. You know, the skill is there to avoid safety cars. So it's been good. Racing's been
I think
tight.
also round 9, by the time round 9, you know, you should have a fair handle on the car now as well. You know.
I mean, you've only got this one and then one more week, so yeah, you probably won't have a good grip on the car by now.
Yeah, so Barb Slider said we had one in
F3?
F3 last week. I thought we did, buddy. Yeah, I thought we did. So Rob trying to get my hopes up, and that's a great catch by Matthew Pinata there. That was a big oversteer moment, and he caught it.
Well, there you go. I didn't actually think we had one last week because it was over in a flash. Like, yeah. But there you go. Hey,
All
Dougie
good, buddy.
Gowans is
You know,
starting
you're
to
wearing
David Gallo.
Well, you're wearing a few hats here at SRW this season too, buddy, so I'm sure, you know, the lines can get blurred occasionally too.
So
I only
what?
blur the lines when it comes
Who's
to
in?
racing. Oh,
Who's in?
okay.
Who's in?
Well, we are starting to see
Johnson.
people jump in the pits. Andrew Johnson into the pits. Michael Cuttajar's pitted. Jay Dixon has pitted. Adrian Loretti, Scott Barge and Brad Hudson. All those guys have pitted, but they pitted well early in this race, probably to take advantage of that fast repair and fix the car. So I'd say they still have a stop coming. But at the moment, it's Phil Vella with a 2.6 second lead over Daniel Byrne, the driver 808 from Kittens Motorsport. It's Kittens Racing. And then we've got Matthew Pinata for Alpha Venturi Racing behind him. And he's inside a second. So that 0.9 you talked about, buddy, he's right on the cusp of it at the moment. Matthew Pinata.
Yeah, he's certainly sitting there. He's close. He kind of needs it, but again, he's got a stop coming. So, do you stop now and force the undercut? Maybe try and get the boys at the front to react. I mean, he's close enough, isn't he, to really make that undercut effective. If he can get in and get out clean, it could be all right.
Well, after last week, our big discussion with the new update, if it was going to create tyre wear and where the guys had picked for tyres. This is a 40-minute race, so we're not going to see tyres come into the equation today.
They're walking, they're all in. Well, the front three are in.
Okay, there you go. Well, again, I was going to say 26 litres in the tank.
Front four
and
in.
we're lap 18. Times that by 1.5, and then you're talking about 27.
Oh,
so I think
Dougie Gowans has kept going, mate. Dougie, the pits on the right side, mate. On the right side.
Got an extra lap out of the car. That could be telling, because especially if this is you wouldn't want to have to coast this lap. Because
absolutely not.
At this point, you're running the car at its lightest possible.
Oh.
So theoretically, it should be at its quickest.
Look at this. These boys are going to come out on top of each other.
He's closed up under pits.
That's Andrew Johnston.
Has Phil overfueled, or maybe been a bit conservative?
Paul,
or
4.58. Daniel 4.3. Matthew Pinata 505. Darren Fahey 4.93. Greg Bradley 497.
Daniel
But,
Byrne,
yeah,
he's
no.
the one that jumped Matthew in the pit stop. So,
And he took
let's
the
have a look at
shortest
that.
amount of fuel.
Matthew had 18 seconds pit lane. They're all very similar pit lane time.
The
Daniel
shortest
was
was
just
Daniel Byrne, 4.3 fuel.
7/10 faster in the actual stop. But you look at the pit lane transit time, it looks pretty close, mate.
It does, yeah.
So they must have gone in almost light astern. So perhaps Daniel was the really aggressive one on their pit entry. You know.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe he got right up inside that little toe-on effect there. But yeah, so now they're chasing
Well, he's done.
down Doug Gowans, technically.
Well, I think no, he was ahead of Matthew before. It was always Phil, then Daniel, then Matthew. So
Doug's in.
he's maintained that gap. So I think we're maybe reading a little bit too much into it there. Dougie Gowan's now coming into the pits, is he?
Yeah, Dougie Gowans is in.
And we're going to see Jay Dixon and a few of the other guys there that pitted early. Michael Cuttajar, they're going to be out of sync a little bit at the moment. But that also may mean that they put less fuel in the car, but
Well,
they've still got that
Cowy,
stuff to do. So
let me throw this at you. Let me throw this as a really little left ball scenario. All the guys who just pitted only took 4 seconds stop. Jay Dixon, when he went in, only took 4.4 seconds. Does he have enough?
I don't think so, because it was too early, mate. It was only like lap 5 that he pitted. So if you think about it, you need to put 20 litres in the car, and you've only done 5 laps out of the tank. Then theoretically, you've only made space for about 7 or 8 litres. So I think he's going to be like 12 short, at least 10 short, I think.
Well, it can't be, because we're only 7 laps to the finish. We're on lap 20 out of 27, mate.
Yeah, but
So,
again,
that's interesting.
I mean, these guys were it's close, but these
It's
guys
juicy.
pitted. The guys that went long pitted lap 19, so they needed to put 8 laps. They pitted actually lap 18, something across the
Yeah.
line in the pit. So
right.
they've got to put 9 laps. Got to have 9 laps worth of fuel, right? So 1.5 litres a lap, or 1.2. They're saying the burn. So yeah, I mean, you still need to put 12.
It's a
15
juicy
litres in the
thought,
car.
though. It's a juicy thought.
Perhaps he can save and get home, Jay. I don't know.
Because, I mean, technically the stop times are the same. Just he did his
Yeah.
earlier. So it's interesting that, you know, like, did he short
Get
fuel
enough.
off the start, though? That's the question.
But
I think
that's
he
a
can.
possibility too. Yeah.
I don't think he
but even
could've.
then, still, I don't know.
Because it's a fixed setup. You
Yeah,
can't
it sounds
change
a
the
bit
fuel, I
dicey
don't
to
think.
me, man. But
It's-
you know, I love that speculation, man. So keep it coming. I love that speculation. I mean,
Hey,
last
it's
week
all
the
these
fuel
things.
issues. Well, the fuel
Yeah.
issues we had last week, you know, with the more fuel saving right there at the end and trying to coast it home. And
we did see that.
and again, you know, and then the TCR tonight with the fuel again coming right on the issue. So it's good to see that it comes into the equation. At the moment,
100%.
Daniel Byrne is trying to keep in touch with Phil Bella here. It's 2.1 seconds at the moment, so he is sort of making some headway, and he's kept that gap at about 1.4, 1.5 to Matthew Pinata behind him. And Darren Fahey, he's managed to stay almost close enough, a couple of seconds back there. But that top 4, they've checked 5 or 6 seconds ahead. But look at who's in P5 again, mate. Greg Bradley. He has been super consistent.
Yeah.
And is sort of almost the best of the rest. You know, that moniker we see in F1 every now and again. Hey guys, this is round 2 of our F1 season within a season within multiple seasons, I should call it. And look at David Galler here getting a run on Doug Gowan.
That Jay Dixon.
And yeah, that Jay Dixon looking for a run in the pits, is it? Yeah.
Yep, no, he's
I
gone,
didn't
yeah.
think he'd make it, mate.
Well, there you go. So, yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, look, it is what it is, but I think Jay his car was too broken to drive around with that car broken, and he chose to come in and use the fast repair. Oh, there's a nice old track from Darren Fahey there.
Do you
don't
hear the
think that's a
bottoming out there?
slowdown.
You hear it just scrape the floor and bounce and... Oh,
Oh, who's that? Steven
Stephen.
Singerby. Oh no, Stephen. Come on, buddy. We missed the Spinnovic all night. We thought we were going to have a spin-free Spinnovic night.
not going to happen, mate. Not going to happen. Look at this battle. This is raging. David Gallo and Dougie Gowans. Dougie Gowans up P6, mate. 12 spots tonight. 12 spots.
This is the battle on track at the moment. Oh, that's a great move from David Gallo. Can he pull it up? Oh, that was about the limit there. He's somehow got... He got...
Was there contact
that'll
there?
be a slowdown. That'll be a slowdown. I wonder if he got tapped.
I think
in
there
the
might have
rear
been a
by
bit of
Doug.
contact there because there was a bit of a sudden...
Okay, so here it is here. So Doug's actually calling it on the radio. So, okay, they're lucky not to have both
How did they
died there.
both get away with that? Yeah, I was going to say. It's a bit ordinary.
And we'll
Alright.
see if that has given him any damage, though. It doesn't look like, look, the rear diffuser looks fine. Oh, he's moved there, and Doug's gone to the outside. Side by side here, going down into T1. And Doug's got it done. Oh, no,
has
they're
he?
still
No,
side
it's
by
still-
side. Look at this. He's going to have the honours to the next corner, though. I think David will have to get out of it here. Unless he wants to run wide. Yep, he's got out of it. Good battle, but we can see here it's not over yet. David trying to sneak up the inside. But see what happens when you battle. Who's that coming up in behind?
Andrew
Andrew
Johnson,
Johnson. Coming to join this battle, buddy. That's what we see happen.
Yeah,
Time
absolutely.
and time again.
Yep,
See, there's people
absolutely.
fighting on track. Okay, so just race control saying there was going to be a redress there for Doug and David, but Doug's got past David in the process, so it's a moot point. You can redress the position if you like David, but he's already been passed, so... But I think maybe
we go.
David's come up a bit worse for wear with damage. Alright,
Matthew
Matthew
Pinata.
Pinata, is he close enough to get the toe? This has
Not
been
yet.
0.9 for quite a few laps, buddy.
He can't quite do anything. It hasn't budged at all. I'm just watching the numbers, and it hasn't budged. There you go, 1/10 there.
Yeah, he did
Right,
take
let's-
4/10 out of Daniel that lap.
You certainly
Pretty
did.
much exactly matched Phil Bella's time. They almost both set the same time down to 1,000.
Actually, yeah, I was going to say, yeah, they almost have, yeah. 34.43 for both drivers. So I'd love to see the next decimal place on that, because they'll be very quick in that lap time. Then Darren Fahey, 34.44, so he's only 100th out as well. So it's... But Nathan Verney's got the fastest lap of the race, mate, 34.34. So that's Nathan Verney back in P10.
33 earlier, or that might have been a
Not in the
might have
race.
been a 1x in there, so it didn't count. Or race 1.
Might have been race 1, but I think it was Phil did a 33.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a 33.76, but I'm just saying last lap, 34.34.
Oh, that's gonna hurt Matthew Pinata. That would have
Oh.
damaged the cars. That's those big
Ouch.
yellow sausage curbs we're talking about.
So yeah,
We'll have
Phil
to
Vella,
see
sorry,
that.
does have the fastest lap of the race, 33.76, but the fastest lap last lap was Nathan Verney. So interesting that Nathan Verney back here is putting in some quick laps now.
Yeah.
Oh, just hear that car sliding.
It's just pushing hard. We can ride it in the draw. He's starting to get it. I think those rears might be starting to go on Nathan, because he's struggling a little bit. David Gallo here back in the toe of Doug Gowans. This has been a battle that's been going on for a while. A little click to break the toe there. These boys are... There's a good battle going on here. And Doug did move over to the inside, but he's moved back for the regular line. David just doing a little peekaboo move there.
You gotta love the tactics, especially when you've got what? Mate, we're in the last.
We are inside the last minute, mate, so let's have a look at do we see if there is a white flag from Barney. Phil Bella coming around the back part of the track.
Is it going to be
So
white
let's keep an
flag?
eye out, but I don't know if we've seen the white flag.
Not showing up
Generally the way
on
these
time
have
tower.
worked. Yeah, so it might be this. You might get. I think we're going to be seeing Barney waving the white flag this time round. I would say, buddy.
Oh, David Gallows crashed.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
No.
Maybe he did. Maybe he did. Don't know.
Oh, he's had it off because he's now behind Nathan
He
Burney.
went off track.
Did
Yeah.
have a moment.
Oh,
Oh, this looks like this is checkered flag because we've got Phil doing a little expression session coming down the main straight. Let's keep an eye out for Barney. It is the
it is
checkered
the checkered
flag.
flag. Yeah, there we have it.
But there we go. And Daniel Byrne looks like he's held on to P2 just ahead of Matthew
only
Pinata,
just.
who threw everything at it. So that's
Only
why Matty
just.
threw everything at it and risked the yellow curves, mate, because that was the last lap.
Yeah. So, wow. What a conclusion
Darren
to
with
the
a great
race.
drive for P4 as well, and Greg Bradley.
Can we just
Greg Bradley,
shout
P5.
out this man on screen, plus
Hey.
12, Dougie Gowans, take a bow, sir. That was a fantastic effort tonight.
Matthew Pinata up 10, Phil Bella up 9, Dougie Grandpa Gowans up 12.
12.
Look at that.
Andrew Lydon up 8.
Yep, that's
So
another good
what
drive
an
as
effort
well.
tonight by some of these boys. Adrian Loretti's up 4 as well, so
I
a
think
lot of movers
Adrian
and
got
shakers.
caught up. Adrian got caught up in that stuff there at the
That little
start
lap
with
1
Phil
skirmish.
and,
Yeah,
and
100%.
Tyson and that. So there was, and I've got a message in the the broadcast chat from Tyson to say it's okay for you guys to get up me in the YouTube. He made a mistake. Well, at least you owned up to it, buddy. You know these things happen. Pushing
Hey, mate,
hard and
It's not our
sometimes
job,
we
is
make
it?
mistakes. Yeah.
Not our job to carve you up, mate. You're going to do enough of that to yourself when you see the replay later.
Yeah, that's it.
As soon as you see that replay, you're going to be filthy on it. But no, I mean, you call yourself one of the last of the late breakers, mate. And that was, yeah, I don't think anyone
Probably
has broke
looking
any
like-
later than that.
It's all good. All right, well, it is the downforce racing machine of Phil Vella with double victory tonight. So we saw it last night with Ray Oliver taking out the double victory. Didn't see it in the TCRs, but it happens again in the F3. So Daniel Byrne, the driver 808, with a great drive up front there, did his best to try and hold off Phil, but Phil's just too quick. And Matthew Pinata with a great drive from P13 on the grid to put it on the podium. That's a pretty awesome effort. I just heard Tyson on the radio there giving a big apology to the boys, and yeah, so definitely unintended, but yeah, I suppose these things do happen in racing.
Oh, 100%, yeah. I mean, we don't see Tyson in these regularly, but, you know, even so, he come in, he had a go and owned up to it and said, yeah, look, I stood on it.
I seem to recall him saying a few weeks ago, he's going, I'm not getting a chance to practice, you know, I want to come in and kill the guys, so I'm just going to drop out. And of course he's been convinced to come back in maybe to help with the numbers tonight. What has he done? Taken a few, well, these things happen. Tyson, well, you'll have to just put in some practice, buddy, like you keep telling me. All right, well, we started to get a few of our drivers in the green room, so let's bring down the candy-stuffed toy man himself, Matthew Pinata. Matty, you had to work for it tonight, mate. Did you lock up a break in that first race and then had to start outside the top 10 again? So tell us about it, mate. She must have been fun carving your way through the pack.
Oh, it was definitely good fun in both races, carving the way through the pack. Just apologies to Gallo in the first race. He just took a bit of a different line to me into turn one, and I just took my normal line, and obviously just a little bit of contact there, both spun us around, which, I apologize for that. It wasn't intentional, wasn't even going for a move or anything like that, but yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, even second race, it was parting the Red Seas at turn one, so did not expect that going into turn one.
Yeah, we've just got that on screen right now. We just sort of show you coming through there, and when we looked at it live, mate, I don't know how you got through there. I want to go back and look at that replay, and I just want to see how you managed to get through there. What was it like from the driver's seat, seeing what was going on in front of you? What was the first thought?
Well, as soon as I was going into turn one, I wanted to go on the inside just to avoid getting hit, basically, if anything were to spew out wide, which was the smart move, because then all of a sudden I see, I think it was Tyson, literally barrel up the inside, and I kind of moved a little bit out the way because I saw him coming. And luckily I did that because he just did not stop for the corner. I was able to just kind of watch everything unfold in front of me. Hopefully everyone held their brakes and just sneak on through.
I think in Tyson's defence, it was grass before it, so he had no option to stopping there anyway, buddy. But
There you go.
right, look, good to see you guys having to fight your way through the pack, but having a great battle there with Phil and Daniel. But just Phil's so fast, mate, and he's a hard man to stop when he gets that toe.
He had the practice. He's put the practice in, and yeah, all credit to him. He's just too quick. Like, even when he came to overtake me, I wasn't going to try and defend it. So I was just letting him go. Hopefully I could follow him through. I just still couldn't even keep up with him. So, but even good credit to Daniel as well. Didn't have the pace on him, doing basically the same laps times, just held that gap of like 1.2 seconds to him, but couldn't breach it and get the toe on him.
Well, man, you say Phil put in the practice. You sort of look like you what doing out there. You had a few limits and areas where you could push really hard. Is Fuji one of those tracks that excites you like it does me?
This is my first actual race at Fuji, so did a little bit of practice today. That was pretty much it. I didn't have time during the week or earlier this week to do anything. So just quickly learnt this morning, and then even in the 2-hour practice session before the race, just put in a bunch of laps to get my eye in again. But yeah, it's really good to explore very good to explore the limits a bit. I don't like Sector 3 that much, but if you get it right, then it feels good hooked up. So.
Well, buddy, once again, you have put the Alpha Venturi machine on the podium. So you have earned the right to let us know all about your sponsors, buddy. So congratulations on P3 and take it away.
Firstly, big thanks to ToyoSim, major sponsor. So always good to see them on the car and supporting us every race. All the boys back in the Discord as well. Obviously didn't have any teammates tonight, but still managed to get the car on the podium. So big thanks to all the boys helping me be the engineers in Discord. And big thanks to our new sponsor, IMB as well, IMB Racewear. So good to have them on board. Hopefully get their logo on the car soon as well.
So we did notice a few of the boys missing. Is that just a one-off, a few of them away this week?
Yeah, a couple away, and then a couple got Assetto Corsa G Challenge as well, so practicing for that tomorrow night. So big event for that one as well. So they're putting their practice in for that one.
No worries. Well done, buddy. P3, and you had to earn it tonight, so congratulations. And it's quite entertaining to watch you. Well done,
Thank
buddy.
you. Thanks.
All right, so let's bring in driver 808. I'm going to let you ask the questions, Rob, seeing I didn't give you a chance to say a single thing then.
No, it's all right, mate. Hey, Daniel, congratulations for you too, mate. How was it out there tonight? Looked bit rough.
It was all right. Just that last sector, it's so easy to cook the tires. The last few laps, I completely cooked them, and I could see Matthew was gaining on me. The last 2 or 3 laps, he was gaining probably 2 or 3 tenths every lap. But managed to hold it, and I'm happy with second. That's good.
Yeah, no, we did. We were watching that on the timing table. We could see Matthew was just starting to eke into that little time gap, and at the end of the day, the time got the better of him, and you got yourself a good podium, mate. So, how did you see the incident there at turn 1? Like coming up with the start there?
I didn't really see it. I was lucky enough to avoid it. I saw a lot of it in the mirrors, but I didn't really see exactly what happened. I haven't watched the replay yet, so it was interesting. A couple of the teammates on comms were pretty boisterous about it, so they must have gotten caught up in it. But I'll have to catch up with them and see what happened.
Yeah, right. It was probably a big scramble in the rearview mirror. So you got away with that one. But
Daniel, I'll ask a quick question. So, are you a fan of Fuji too, man?
I am a fan. Yeah. I don't have too much experience here, but I like it. I like those fast flowing corners. It's got a good mix of all the corners that you like. I'm not a huge fan of the S's near the end. It's really, really technical, but Yeah, it's a good challenge as well, though.
Yeah, well, as we covered tracks, second last round this week and on to Phillip Island next week. I'm guessing that's a bit of a favourite.
Yeah, Phillip Island's a favourite. Done that one plenty of times, and done it in real life as well. So, yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good fun.
Excellent. Well, mate, the time has come. You get to shout out the sponsors and give them credit for getting you guys here and on the podium. So take it away.
Of course. Big shout outs to Kittens Racing, Driver 808 on YouTube and TikTok, AML Technology, and big hi to Bianca and Atari. They're a bit sick at the moment, so get well soon.
Yeah, never good when they're sick. But, mate, congratulations, P2, and well there.
Thanks a lot, guys. See you next week. Cheers.
See you, buddy.
All right. Well, we've spoken to him once tonight, buddy. Is once enough to speak to this man? It seems to be a weekly occurrence.
We just need to give him a camp chair in this com box, mate. He just needs to sit here. Like, we need him in here constantly, I think.
Well, I was going to say, at least he earned his performance tonight. You got a bit of airtime, Phil, carving your way through the field. How was it? And we saw you got caught up in that round one incident, turn one incident as well, and you still recovered to take the W, buddy.
Yeah, I actually haven't had a chance yet to go and have a look at the replay and understand what happened. I saw Michael lock up a bit under brakes there, and I thought I'd left enough space to kind of avoid him coming back from the apex of that turn onto the track. But I got a message, I think it was from Tyson, midway through the race. I saw it briefly, I didn't get to read it. But yeah, I need to go and have a look at it. I wasn't sure if the car was damaged either after that.
It's coming up on replay for you, mate. If you want to watch it, we just threw straight back to it because it was quite the mess, actually, to be honest. It just happened. And
outbraked himself and ended up on the grass and became a passenger. And I think the F3s in front, including yourself, ended up as a pinball.
1, there he goes. Straight through. How you got no damage out of that? Tell us, like, you come back from there.
And it didn't feel great.
It didn't feel great, but yet you went from 13 to the front and you just kept pulling away. Like, what do we need to do?
Well, I don't need any more help with T1. I think that's enough. How quickly I recovered there is probably a testament to how often I spin, which isn't a great thing. But yeah, actually looking at it now, that looks a lot worse than I thought it was. I got a little tap, but when I went into pit, I didn't get any of the repair time or anything like that, so it couldn't have been too bad. And I was trying to figure it out.
If you had your fast repair ticked on, it wouldn't have given you time. So,
yeah, like I said, I haven't had a chance to kind of look at the replay and understand what it's done and hasn't done there. But the car felt sketch after that hit, and I wasn't sure if I'd kind of damaged the rear wing or the alignment of the rears, because you're still on cold tires here as well, and you're not sure if it's gonna do what you want or just kind of misbehave. But
your teammate Jay came into the pits early on, so obviously he took the fast repair, did he? Because it seemed pretty early for the pit window, and he had to pit again at the end there.
Look, to be honest, I'm not really sure what went on there. I just kind of fixated in on my own race this time around. I think. Oh, actually, I was behind him when it happened. Jay came into turn 5. I think he had a bit too much angle attack from the rear and turned, and I think Scotty Barton cleaned him up as well. I think I got pretty lucky on avoiding that one as well. I saw the smoke pretty early, but no kind of... last week it was the optimal strat. It hasn't worked as well this week, but yeah, tough race for Jay today.
I mean, they do say you make your own luck and you need luck, but you show them pace out there. And tonight you got some good airtime watching you carve your way through. We saw that you were really getting a great exit off the back. A lot of the guys were struggling in that last sort of chicane section there, but you seem to have it down pat and we're getting good drive off the last corner.
Yeah, it's It's a really odd set of corners, those last 3 or 4 there, and there's a lot of elevation change mid-corner, which makes it quite challenging. I've done a few practice laps over the weekend and this week, and had some coaching with JJ, which has helped me kind of just sort it out a bit more. But I felt good through there. But it's all you can really do there is just line up for a pass on the straight with the cars ahead.
Well, buddy, you've once again earned the chance to tell us all about those amazing sponsors, buddy. Another P1, double P1 tonight. So you must be pretty happy with yourself. So let us know who's giving you all that great support.
Yeah, firstly, I'd like to thank my wife, Monica, for making the time and putting up with me watching the replays and forcing her to. But again, very thankful for her support. Otherwise, I wouldn't have the opportunity to do this. I want to thank my coach, JJ Laddick. He's really helped me step up the degree of competitiveness that I bring onto track every week. And I wouldn't have, I think, had the results I had without his kind of coaching and guidance. I'd like to thank Downforce Racing again. Like it's wonderful to be part of that team. A real privilege to have the opportunity to represent them, and very thankful for the help and development that they've given me. I'd like to thank the Andrew guys. Just wonderful to race with, a great bunch of dudes. And when you've got Greg Bradley behind you, you certainly feel the pressure mounting. And then obviously yourselves for wonderful commentary. Like I said, I love to watch it back and just see the race from a few different angles. So I appreciate that. And as always, the race organisers, without them, we wouldn't have the opportunity to partake in this competition. And like I've said a few times, keeping this volume of people happy in a kind of competitive realm is quite challenging. So they do a great job in that regard.
All right, buddy. Well, you've probably got the championship all well and truly wrapped out now. So is it a rear grid start for you next week, mate?
No. I'm overseas. This is my last race.
Oh, okay.
You did tell us that last week, yeah.
Make sure you got it wrapped up. So the double P1, that should do everything for you. So I suppose we should crown you champion, seeing we're not going to get to talk to you next week, buddy.
Yeah, I'll see if I can rock up for the call at the end, but I'll be in Singapore, so I won't be able to participate. But I will definitely be watching the race at Phillip Island. I'm pretty bummed that I'm missing that, because it's such a wonderful track for this car, and I think you guys are going to have a wonderful race next week.
Awesome, buddy. Well, congratulations once again, and enjoy your time in Singapore, buddy. And I'm sure we'll see you back next season, and hopefully, we can have a few more guys take the fight to you for the next season, buddy.
Awesome. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Cowy.
Thanks, mate.
Well, Rob, another crazy night here at SRW. We had drama, we had action, we had tears, we've had joy. It's just a roller coaster of a night. And I suppose, look, we'd love to see that passion. Yeah, it can get heated in the chat occasionally, but it just shows you that we've got such a passionate group of drivers and viewers and that's what we want here at SRW. We want everyone to get involved and have their say, so it's awesome, buddy.
But where else would you be on a Wednesday night but sitting here watching this action just take place week in and week out, seeing the quality that we have, and dare I say, we didn't get a safety car.
Yeah. Absolutely right, buddy. And I'm pretty sure there has been another Wednesday night one, but not this season. We have to go way back before. But, coming from some events last season where we saw 6 safety cars in a race, to go through Fuji there, such a fast track. Yeah, it's open, but it still doesn't take much to break an F3, so kudos to all the drivers out there. We had a nice big field of over 20 cars, and, we got around without bringing out the promo department safety car at all, buddy. So
yeah, absolutely, mate. It was fantastic. So what a night of racing.
Well, there is the grid for the final feature race there up, guys. We are at the end of our coverage here for SRW tonight, our big Wednesday night double header, and it was a double header tonight. 4 races, double sprint action, 2 reverse top 10s. as much drama as you could ever want in a night of sim racing or real motor racing to boot. It's been, I suppose we saw all of those big moments with SPG and that over the weekend, and that in the real world racing. Dylan DeBono and the TCRs, he had a P4 round result for his real world drive on the weekend. So, it's just great to see the passion there and that crossover. And, several of the boys saying that they've driven, was it Daniel Byrne saying he'd driven Phillip Island in real life too. So looking forward to next week, buddy. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait. These cars, Phillip Island, the championship round, it is going to be the last round of the season. So that's going to be fantastic. So don't want to miss that, guys. That's going to be fantastic next Wednesday night. So be sure to tune in as we go another double header. The TCRs and the F3s wrapping up their corresponding championships. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Cowy.
I am as well, guys. Well, that will bring us to the end of our coverage here at SRW TV tonight. It's been great action, TCRs and F3s. Of course, if you are enjoying the content, please give us a like and hit that subscribe button, the bell notifications, you don't miss out on any of the action. Big thanks once again to our round sponsor, Warren and Brown Tools, and our other major sponsors here at SRW Fast Track Experiences, Racecraft, Sim Rigs, Grim Industries, ToyoSim, Melville Equipment Corp, Dragon RC, and of course the promo department safety car that was surprisingly absent tonight. But great to have all of them on board. On behalf of the management and broadcast team here at SRW, on behalf of the sainted Rob Hayter man right next to me here, this is Cowy, your average sim racer, signing off saying good night, and we look forward to seeing you next week on SRW TV for the final round of our first season 2023. Have a great night, guys. And girls.
The total one, this is amazing. Up and clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff from Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble model right now because take one, Bruce Tannock, Jamie Guy from